What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with another video. What up, Retro? Dilo, what up? What up? Man, it's Friday night, and I'm just chilling. I've been, haven't played any video games.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Welcome to the on my way.
Phone. Let me see.
Do I have to? My friends call me Martin.
What you got going on tonight? Alright, so let's just go to the regular channel. There we go. Regular channel. And let's get this party started right. Oh man, I love that pinball, man. Mute this. I have been wanting to mod the Legends, but I have to build a whole new PC because I don't want to mess with this Spider-Man. Spider-Man is, that's my boy. You can't mess with Spidey. So I probably should. What up, Devil Waldo? You can see I didn't plan anything tonight, but since we didn't have a show with the fellas, I thought, why the heck not, right? All right. And you guys are probably thinking the same thing. That you're probably shitting there, tough guy. All right. This guy. All right. I got a mess down here. Righty tighty left. Lucy, right? All right, it's gonna have to do. I apologize, guys. because I was blocking the view. Pinball. You guys can at least see the screen. That would make sense to do that. Just put up a disco ball. Right. Yeah. A year with ridiculous. So now just a little.
Nice, there you are, Spider-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the anecdotes.
Pick up your average gamer. Yeah, I noticed that I hadn't got any advice to the show lately, so now I'm I'll just be tired. You don't want to sleep on the show. Even today, I've been up since 3:30. It's been a long day, but I figured I'd get on for a minute and with you guys.
A rock. The best scientists always mad.
This game, yeah, I like the other one. I'll keep that project going. I'm behind the 8 ball.
Not to share friendly parts. Okay. I trained it there.
And so, looking forward to trying that out.
Where do all these guys come from?
Man, you got yours. Yeah.
Fighting put man to sleep.
Did you get the Zaglia tables? Yeah, what do you guys think? If you want to buy all the packs, is there a particular pack that you would recommend to someone? So if you're looking at
Rebuild. Enlarge the containment field. Make it bigger and stronger than ever.
I'm not a real big fan of EM tables. And then
Never been
those
Parker.
retro ones where they table doesn't work, and then you make them games for my headset from my obviously they don't
No man is shut down in cold blood.
check your mic. Can you guys now? Every one of them? Can you guys hear the table? Or can you hear me now? Not the table? Lower the volume. Yeah. I haven't been drinking, but how's that? Is the mic check better now? The mic sounds nice. Check 1. The mic sounds nice. Check 2.
What does it matter for you anyway?
Go to auto shutdown mode. Here this ball is stuck. Two balls.
Here's your page 1, Robbie.
This little green red light. You gotta lift up the to have it go under. That's crazy.
Great shooting.
Now it's like ball, rubber ball.
Great shot.
But sometimes you don't have control over all that fancy stuff.
I'm talking to you.
Table, good for that?
Big fire went up the water spout. Down came the goblin and took the fighter out. Fire 1. Shoot again. Yeah.
All right. That won't be too loud. That's for sure. Well, my mic just pick up everything. Like my mic with a super powered hearing. Well, she don't go around here, so that's good. I probably can't hear you at all, but it is super loud. So does any of you guys have the pinball from Arcade OneUp? You know, so which tables do you guys have? How many of you guys have that game table? You know, I really wanted to like that Attack the Mars, but they just aren't ready for prime time just yet. You know, and there was no need for me to have more than one 1.0 pinball table just to make sense. I'm not like Michael B in the game. They gotta have everything that comes out. I'm more of a realist. I probably have way more tables and things and cabinets than the average Joe. That was a horrible score. So now that was 9:39. You said the table was still too loud. That's crazy. That's crazy. What up, Brad? Blue strings. I can't believe the table's too loud. I'm gonna mute it all together there. And let's take a look at this ALP. Turn down the table. This get it. All right, see if I can turn this without. Of course not. Of course not, Brooks. You know you didn't tighten that up at all. Shouldn't be this difficult, fellas. What's that type? All right, that's tight. That's tight this time. I don't know why I spent it so many times last time. No avail. All right. Tighten that up. Okay. What is it looking at? What happened, Brad? I missed that. I don't watch them often. Oh, yeah. I heard about that. You guys are talking about Retro Ralph and the drama. Yeah, I don't get all that stuff, man. It's just foolishness. Foolishness. Drama for the sake of drama. That should be the show. I think that light is causing. Let's see what we're gonna do. You know, I hadn't played any of these Gottlieb tables in so long now. Double Riders, 2019. Now this table won't be too loud.
Devil Riders remake.
Brad, FX3. I haven't been able to do any of your average gamers tournaments lately, so I need to get back into that. I did purchase the last bundle that were on sale for $5 a piece, um, but I didn't get to play any of those. So maybe I'll fire up some of those tonight. You know, in my pinball table, it's a little setup that I have to do to be able to get the the games to look right with the back glass, with any new games that I add. So I haven't done that yet. Um, I have to look behind me to see the comments. I should have brought my laptop. My iPad's what I normally use for comments, and that thing is of course not charged. I should have brought my battery down here for my phone because the camera wants to just turn itself off the screen. You know, I would love for Stern to do some digital pinball. That would be the ultimate table. Have that thing affordable in this price range. And some Stern tables, and be able to buy more tables. That would be super. So I hope Stern, I hope someone's contacting me and trying to work out some type of deal. Those tables, they deserve to be played. They deserve to be enjoyed. Um, and as you guys know, it's not a threat to the regular pinball business, because once you get hooked on these things, then it'll lead to more sales and things like that. So I really wish that. Obviously, they've been the player that's in the game the longest, and they're still developing pretty cool tables. They really understand pinball, and it makes them pretty fun game to play. You go from Spider-Man to a table like this. Wow, this is cool. It's just there's no comparison. In the excitement. Zachary. And I just can't believe that Arcade OneUp made those tables without nudge buttons. And they should have had them as backup, giving them track record. They got these tables with these nudge properly, and don't have the buttons as backup. That's unforgivable, man. I love to be able to just nudge this with shaking the table. That is pretty cool. So, at games, they released these firmware updates, and heard people complain about the heavy after something like this, but I haven't experienced that. I guess I never turn these things up. I can feel it under my palm, but I never. I hadn't really adjusted it. One time I adjusted it. So I don't know if people have one way high. I know when I first got the cabinet, you could really feel it rattle. I made the adjustment. I've been fine with it. So. Let's see. Chance. Hey Brad, didn't you get the order the Tech from Mars and the Tempest? Did you ever get your Tempest cabinet? Yeah, the arcade OneUp tables, they look nice. I mean, I hadn't seen one in person, but what I've seen and what people have said is that the aesthetics of the tables are well done. It's a shame that they just have so many problems. But again, kind of anticipated that with the version 1. So that's why I canceled my pre-order. No one had it yet. The Tech Mars, and I just didn't want to be the guinea pig. Okay, Brett, you took your cabinet back. Yeah, the Tech Mars, man, that's a shame. No, again, I don't know. I think people still are going to enjoy them if they have them, but obviously, everybody's have different opinions on and different expectations. Like I said, for me, the biggest thing, even though it's a much bigger cabinet than my toy shock, the screen's identically the same, size. So it just didn't make sense for me to get another 24-inch screen. So that was really my issue. And haven't had anybody in the States have it yet that you can really see it before I got it. That led to it. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's pretty cool if it came out of Cracker Jack boxes. They don't put anything in those Cracker Jack boxes anymore. Mentioning. So you're saying it came out of one of the new Cracker Jack boxes, not one of the old Cracker Jack Multi-ball! Slow down, everybody. Let's get some. Oh, that didn't help. enjoy. Yeah, I'm definitely will Hollywood Polo. What up, brother? Yeah, I just been super busy at work, and I've not been able to think, drink, eat, consume anything but all these crazy projects. So, um, yeah, I need to stress about this stuff. Just get back to enjoying life. And I definitely enjoy kicking on your average gamer's tail in the tournament. So, I really need to do that. I'm not bragging or anything, but he would tell you. I mean, my goal is to at least try to get to the top 10. And I think I had a pretty good record until you got to some of those tables. Some of those tables gave me some serious problems. I'm not a fan of the. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me do that 1 second. Share. No, not share. Okay. And let's go here. Give me 1 second, guys. Sure. And here. Come on. FedEx left it out the street. Wow. This Facebook post was where the FedEx guy left this guy's arcade OneUp pinball right at the curb in his driveway. Good thing one of the road pirates didn't go by and grab that up. That's crazy. Yeah, Phil. What up, Phil's Notebook? I have not had any success with the future pinball tables. I just don't. I see some videos and people they must optimize those things, but I have the mechanics of it just didn't. The physics of it just didn't feel right to me at all, and I hadn't. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I just hadn't had any success with the. What up?
What up?
I started talking smack about the tournament, so you had to come on and
You damn skipped it. You know how my ears were ringing?
Right.
So I had to come through. I see you playing my favorite game.
This what you like here?
This is my favorite one. I was number one for about 2 minutes. Then everybody came after me.
Okay. I mean, without your tournament, man, I hadn't really cared about getting any high score. I just come in here and play for a little bit and move on, But I really like that the tournament. I really been enjoying that.
The tournaments to me is not about who's the best. It's about experiencing something that you wouldn't do normally. Like half the games we played on the tournament, I've never touched before the tournament.
Yeah, I would say that's the same for me too.
So how you been doing, man? How's the week been for you?
It was a little stressful, but thank God it's Friday.
Damn. I got my drink ready. I'm in Disney World.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And,
nice.
But I haven't gone inside Disney World.
Okay.
I'm at a resort, like
right
outside the gates.
Okay.
And I'm too shook to go inside.
You say you're too short to go inside? What you say?
Shook.
Right with it.
It's way too many people down here. It's surprising.
I know. Oh yeah, Florida's always been like the governor is cursed.
But your boy went to this place called Everglades Donuts,
Okay.
and I had me maple glaze and bacon donut.
Uh-huh.
And you would think those two things don't go together, but this thing was delicious.
Look, I don't discriminate against sweets, so they all go together.
And then I had me a spiked coffee
Uh-huh.
with rum. That shit was delicious. It's delicious.
How long you been down there?
I've been here since what you call it? I think it was, I want to say Sunday.
Okay.
So
Sunday.
you know,
Oh, okay. You've been there for a while. Okay.
And
you haven't been to the park yet?
I haven't been to the park yet. I'm debating if I'm gonna go or not. Still debating.
Okay. So you didn't buy tickets ahead of time, then, obviously.
Nope. Like this vacation's been planned for 2 years. It's been delayed by 1.
Okay.
So I'm here. But bro, I gotta ask you. Listen, this is what people want to know.
What's that?
This be what people want to know. So that's why I came on here so we can chop it up. Right? So everybody talking about arcade OneUp.
You're not gonna bring any retro rap, huh?
Oh, fuck that. We hear about you. This is about you and me.
All right. Okay.
This is about, so everybody talking about arcade OneUp and the Simpsons thing. And you know, Dubs dropped a video with a leak on it.
I heard it. I didn't see it.
I saw it. I
Okay.
saw it nice and clear. But then he pulled it.
Okay.
Then he said that he pulled it because he was feeling some type of way. He was feeling bad.
Okay.
He shouldn't have did that, right?
Now, was it the fighter or was it the bowling?
It was the bowling one.
Oh, okay. We need a bowling.
No, but
we
the
need
Simpsons
a bowling.
bowling one. The four
Yeah.
player Simpsons that had the
Yeah, I
bowling
got
on it.
Yeah.
So basically, I played devil's advocate. I was like, I don't think that's what it was. I think Arcade OneUp said, listen, you need to pull that because we don't have the license yet, and you may make the deal fall through.
Okay.
And if you, because we don't want the same Neo Geo thing to happen all over again. Listen, it just don't make no sense. First of all, I don't believe PDubs got an NDA with them. PDubs is too smart. PDubs is too smart to like have did that if he had an NDA. I don't believe he had an NDA, so I don't believe that's the reason why he pulled it.
No.
But I just think that they told him like, listen, you can mess up this deal for us, and then nobody's happy. What you think?
Though. From what I saw, because again, I had. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I said, what did you think about the cabinet? Is that something you're excited about? Or
I listen to me. The only reason I would be excited is because I saw it said Wi-Fi, and if it's the Wi-Fi on it, then I'm excited about it. If there's no Wi-Fi, you can keep it.
Okay, give me the Wi-Fi on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's gonna be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all over again for me. I'll play it, I'll beat it, and then I'll be tired of it. And then I got another 4-player cabinet that's taking up way too much space in my arcade. Whereas if this is Wi-Fi, I can play it. I can play against other people. I'm happy. And on top of that, you throw in bowling, so it throws another game that we haven't really gotten. We got golf, but now we all have bowling in the house. That'll be a cool thing.
Yeah, I definitely want bowling. Matter of fact, my computer that's in the toy shop has a PC emulator that I have like the latest golf games and bowling games and all that stuff on it. I originally had set up that computer to put inside the Golden Tee, but I had problems with the trackball. It wasn't, if I gave it a 300-yard drive, it was only going like 100.
Yeah.
So something was weird there. So I just abandoned that project and never looked back. But I got all those games on that machine there.
Have you played the PBA bowling 2021? I think it's or 2020.
I haven't.
The game is fire,
Okay.
but it's hard to get the button mapping on APL, but it's cool on the PC. I think it would be a hot modification for somebody.
AC the other day over at Tulsa Arcade, and he was talking about the Simpsons bowling on the coin ops. He was wondering if people had it working on the Gamer Pro. I said I don't know. I haven't even looked at it.
It was issues for it for a while, but I remember somebody putting in one of the groups that they got it up and running. So
Okay.
if anybody got it up and running, it's Bobby. Bobby Boo gets like
Bobby Boo.
10,000 people to try to work bugs out on stuff, and if he could get it, if it's up and running, he got it.
What up, Al?
My boy.
Yeah, Brad said it's working fine on CoinOps X. I'll have to check that out.
There you go. So
Now, is that a particular version, Brad? I know they came out with a 5.4.6 or 5 point
I
something.
think it's the new one. I think it's the 5 Live, because they put a lot of new games on there. It's cool.
Okay. I need me a drink. What you drinking over there?
I got me a margarita.
Okay. Okay.
You have the control deck. Did you have the control deck yet for the?
It's in transit.
Yeah, mine is in Hong Kong.
Okay. Well, yours sound like yours ahead of mine. Yeah, mine's still in China.
We'll have a race. See who
Okay.
gets it first.
All right.
I got 5 on you, bro. I don't even have faith in mine.
Hey, it's all going to come down to whoever that last mile carrier is. If it's FedEx or if it's United States Postal Service. If it's United States Postal,
They may kick it the rest of the way. If it's UPS, I mean the United States Postal Service.
Yeah, whenever I see USPS, I'm like, oh man, I just cringe.
Listen, it can't be worse than DHL. DHL.
Then who? Oh, DHL. I'm trying to think.
I never had good luck with them, bro.
I'm trying to think. Was DHL who dropped off my pinball?
I think it was. I think FedEx was you, bro. I think DHL. No.
I think it was DHL. I have to look at my.
No, it was DHL because the first batch of people, they got DHL.
Yeah, they called me up on the phone.
FedEx.
Yeah. See, mine was DHL. They had my number on the box. They called me. They was like, "Hey, I'm out here."
You a lucky dude. Anytime I dealt with DHL, it was like sending it through a pigeon carrier.
Okay, yeah. I hadn't dealt with them much. I hadn't dealt with them much at all over the years. Outside of business, when I used to work in automotive, we used to deal with them a lot.
So Dub showed the new intro for the show, bro. I'm feeling it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Man, these guys, man, they literally have like 2 million text messages between shows, and I only catch like the tip of the iceberg,
I understand.
So I miss out a lot. I bet if I picked up my phone now, it'll say you missed like 600 messages.
So what's this? What's up with this new headset, bro?
Oh, this is my Xbox. So I couldn't find the little receiver. Does it sound is okay?
It sounds perfect, bro. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I'm not gonna ask.
Yeah, I had this for my Xbox, and then my daughter swiped my Xbox, and she's had it upstairs since the pandemic. And I was asking, like, she was like, "This headset doesn't work." So apparently, the receiver got unplugged and put in a drawer somewhere, and so I was blaming her for losing my receiver because she came and took the whole set. But I just looked in the drawer the other day and found it, so I'm like, "Let me try this out."
And it works perfect.
Okay. Yeah, it
Huh?
sounds good.
Look,
Apparently, it was picking up the Spider-Man too loud for everybody.
um, listen, can't make it. It can't be perfect. It's live, baby.
That's right. That's right. So, have you been downtown Disney yet?
No, listen, I've been trying to stay away from stuff. I visited in-laws family because they had like a little pool and stuff. So I went over there. I've done a lot of the amenities here at the resort. I actually went out to it's like a outdoor shopping center. It had all this kinds of stuff and Lego land and all this kind of crap. And I took my
Okay.
son to see some T-Rex stuff.
Okay. Right.
He's obsessed with dinosaurs. He's at that age that's his obsession. So
And
I
that's
took him
awesome.
there,
That's awesome. You get to. I did
and
that twice. The two boys the first time, two girls the second time. So I've been through all that.
yeah, I really I feel kind of bad that you know we're on this trip in the middle of this thing because I really want him to experience the Disney, but at the same time I can't take that risk. So
Have you been
maybe next time.
vaccinated?
I have been, but
Okay. Me too.
you know
I'm only one so far in my immediate
I
family.
took I'm down. Me and my wife we both took the double dose, so we're good. Like the whole
Okay.
family has, except for the
Okay.
kids. So that's my whole thing is like I don't want to jeopardize them. Like if it was just me and the wife, then we'll do whatever we want because we vaccinated. But
Mhm.
you know what you gonna do? You
Right.
live for your
Right.
kids. So
Yep. Yep.
tomorrow, early in the morning, like maybe at 9 o'clock, I'll take them to go do something before the crowds hit
Okay.
and do that and see whatever. Yo, they open up. I know someone told me Conti from all the groups, the pinball groups and everything. You know who Conti is.
Yep. Yep.
He's a Canadian dude. He told me that his nearest White Castle is in Detroit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So he ain't got one. And I don't got one in Charlotte. And I haven't had White Castle in probably like 5, 6 years.
Can't you
So
go to your local grocer and get out the freezer?
it ain't the same, bro. You know that. You know that ain't the same.
All
So
right.
I was going to go. They just opened one up, the largest White Castle in all of the U.S. and actually the world. And dude, there's a 4 hour wait in the driveway, the drive through,
Uh-huh.
and a 2 hour wait to eat inside. I was
What
like,
city is that in?
this in Orlando.
Oh, in Orlando. Okay. My mom and sisters in Orlando. I have to
So
ask them about that.
I was like, I want it, but not that bad, bro.
Right. Right.
The dude told me, well, you could come at 9 o'clock in the morning. I said, who's eating hamburgers at 9 in the morning?
Right. That's how the Chick-fil-A has been here. They opened up one probably a year and a half ago, and there's always a line. It's just ridiculous. We finally got in there early one day, but I was like, I must have this line, and so we had a good day. So that worked out. And I'm not a real fan, but my wife wanted to try it or get some.
I think I'm gonna wake up in the morning and see if I can get it.
Okay.
But let's see what happens. So listen, they don't want to hear about my life. They want to hear about this stuff. What's your predictions for E3? What do you think is gonna pop off?
There's no
You was
E3.
a betting man.
There's no E3. It's
You
gonna
don't
be
think
E3. Well,
E3?
look at right. Look at the CES that we had. That was they didn't
It
really.
was
No one
bogus.
really did anything.
But I can't believe that these companies are gonna let that slide through. I mean I know it's mostly for modern games, but I think Arcade OneUp got some things up their sleeves. I don't think that Ad Games is gonna do anything because they're gonna have their own National Owners Day.
Yeah, that's just not in their DNA.
They're
You
gonna
breaking up a
hold
little
it
bit.
like that.
Yeah, you broke up. I didn't hear anything you said.
That game doesn't like sharing the spotlight.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? I was gonna say, I said ad games don't like to get the spotlight, so they can do their own thing and be the center of attention. So I think they'll just wait till National Owners Day and drop their thing off. I think the make noise, if they make noise, it's gonna be Arcade OneUp. And I think Arcade OneUp is gonna drop a bombshell. I think they're gonna do another pinball. I think they'll do a couple of games, maybe a racing game and maybe a light gun game. And maybe
Yeah,
Simpson.
I like to see the light gun game. That's for certain. Of all those things, that's what I would like to have. Now which light
If we're
gun
gonna
game?
throw a light gun game,
Yeah, you're breaking up.
let me go inside. Maybe I'll get better reception.
Can you guys hear them good? Well, or is that just me?
Let me go inside. Maybe I'll get better reception. So the question I was asking, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So what I was gonna say is, what game would you be excited for in terms of a light gun game?
House of the Dead and maybe Terminator.
Okay,
I
but
mean,
let's say it was Terminator, right? What
Right.
games would they what games would they have to add in there? Because you gotta have, I guess, a minimum of 3 games.
now you remember, I grew up poor, so I was too cheap to be playing a whole lot of stuff. So I don't have the experience with playing a lot of those games. I watched them more than anything. Um, so none of I don't say any of them other than the House of Dead and like Area 51.
Mm-hmm. Like
Area 51.
you
That's the name
got
of it,
2
right?
games right there in the Area 51. You got Area 51 and Maximum Force, and I think they have a 3rd game that they could throw in there. If you
Yeah,
did
I mean
House of
Area
the-
51. I really enjoyed that game. That's the one I played the most of any shooting game.
that game, I don't think it's too hard to emulate. I think they could pull that one off.
I think that's the simplest of the ones I mentioned.
But is the graphics, like not like the graphics, but like the amount of killing and stuff like that. Are they willing to say? I mean, they did Mortal Kombat, so if they did
Right.
Mortal Kombat, I think they should be good. But that would be my only question. Like, you're gonna really say that this is an adult, this is for adults. You're no longer a toy line, since if you're throwing that game on there.
Well, I mean they just have to have ratings on the boxes or something.
Yeah.
I don't-
Because I didn't know, like in terms of the Big Buck Hunter,
Mhm.
when you play that game, there's a menu that you could turn the girls off. Like, there's girls in between the games
Right.
that
Right.
become a little flirtatious. You could take those off, so you can. So they could probably, I don't know if there was a dip setting in Maximum Force or Area 51 where you could take off like blood and stuff like that. That probably would be your best alternative.
Yeah, I would agree that would be, and they had a few different games that had dip switches. Was it Miss Pac-Man? One of the more recent games had
Yeah.
dip switches.
They they're doing that now. Like all the legacy cabinets, you have not the regular dip switches, but you have the ability to put on more lives, change the difficulty settings, stuff like that. So I just
Do
think
you
that
have one of the
have
legacy
to-
cabinets?
I don't, but
Okay.
there hasn't been a reason for me to get it in my eyes. I like I said, I would have gotten the Mortal Kombat one, the if it was Wi-Fi, because that had the best game lineup. but there's no Wi-Fi. So
So, does anyone have that legacy cabinet, Atari legacy cabinet yet? I have
I don't
not.
think so. But yesterday they just went live on QVC, so you can order it on QVC and get it ahead of time because a lot of places is claiming like July, but QVC says that you'll get it in a couple of weeks, so you'll still be in the month of May and get it. But it's at a premium. It's at $439, so
Okay.
so basically a few more dollars, and then you got if there's no shipping sale, the shipping is like $57.
Yeah, I know Brad. I had mine on order before Brad. If I hadn't canceled it, it's like I should have had it by now. But
Nobody's got it, so I think
that's just ridiculous, man. See that,
I
and
think
that's
they
what's the
pushed them
thing.
out.
Yeah, that was the thing. That's the thing that just turned me off. Is like they kept moving the date, or they didn't have a date, and I'm like, I got time for that. But I'm just surprised no one has it yet.
Well, I mean, and that's probably I think out of all the legacy cabinets, probably with the most anticipated one because of the authenticity of the shape of the cabinet.
Right.
It just looks really well made design, and I think that would be uh, an attention grabber in anybody's arcade. Like you look at that, you're like, that looks like the official one. It looks gorgeous. Um, so I don't know, man. I think they don't because they're not transparent with their things. If they just told everybody, look, we're having issues with our supply chain. We're having issues with delivering on the dates. We're still coming out, but it's gonna be XYZ. I think a
On to
lot of people
November.
would, you know, a lot of people would be more happy with that than just playing the guessing game and wondering when they're gonna pull from your account. Because a lot of these companies that you
Yeah,
do
because
it
you got
with
to be able to.
gotta have those funds ready, or you're gonna be SOL.
Right, right. And if they're not communicating anything, that. But then when they're not holding the money, you got to have it ready.
Yeah, like that's one thing I'll give ad games credit on. They sent you that notification. They said you got 48 hours to make that payment, or you not getting the pinball. So I give them credit on that. They give you enough amount of time to know when to make that payment and get it moving. And if more companies did that, it'll be a lot easier. Like sometimes you got to deliver bad news. Like Ad Game said, there's going to be delays with the mini cabinet, but they told you instead of you guessing when you're going to
Right.
get it, when you're going to get it. I give them respect for that. Whereas Arcade OneUps just, they just be quiet, and I guess you have to just figure it out. You have to decipher the codes.
Right. And your imagination is always going to be worse than reality. That's the thing.
I wonder how many people decided to say, you know what, I'm canceling my Attack from Mars, or I'm canceling my whatever with Arcade One Up, and let me get this Legends Pinball because I know that they're gonna have a sale on the 5th, the 8th, and whatnot, and you're gonna get it at a certain time. Granted, maybe you may not even be an Ad Games fan, but you just want a pinball so bad you're willing to take what I know you're gonna get.
I said way back in November, I think it was, the
Yep.
best pinball is going to be the one you can get your hands on this year because I knew it was going to be crazy.
Oh, so I think the table, how the tables have turned. Everybody was full blown on Arcade One Up and everything they did. They couldn't do no wrong, and everybody was disrespecting ad games. And then the way ad games have changed their whole perspective on things, like people were really respecting them now, and they're doing things the right way, I think. And because they've been more transparent than the other companies. They've some people have jumped ship, and that's pretty cool. I think when you have more people in the game, more companies competing for our dollars, we as the consumer are the winners.
Yeah. I mean, granted, what it costs to buy one from any other source, to build one, the effort it takes to build something, obviously it'll be a whole lot better, but way more expensive. So again, I give them all respect for getting the product out at that price set, because I've said it many times before. With my skills at carpentry, the cabinets alone, if I'm going to mod them, are worth the price. You know what I mean? If you can use some of the parts, in your mod, then that's even better. But I'm mad they're making them. Period. And because pinball is pretty fun. It's definitely a fun thing that I didn't really play a whole lot of growing up. And I've gone to play real pinball tables since playing the Toy Shock one, and I can play, and enjoy it. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait till the arcades open back up, and to be able to get out there and play some of the real tables.
I gotta say, like, this is probably a gateway for most people. Like, before this virtual pinball scene, I I I could count on probably both hands how many times I played a real pinball table, and because of the virtual pinball scene, I want to play the real tables to see the differences, to experience them and whatnot. So I'm sure that this has to be for a lot of people in our community. So it probably is giving a new life to the real pinballs, and just like a lot of people in our, maybe not you and me because of what we desire, but there's some people in our community that have bought numerous arcade one ups and said, you know what, I want a real machine. So I'm sure that the same thing has probably occurred with the virtual pinball. They bought a couple of machines, or there's some people that bought all three arcade one ups, and they haven't had games one, or they've already had built their own virtual pinball and said, you know what, I want to buy a real pinball table, and they buy one or two or whatever, or they go to these pinball events, or they go to the Hall of Fame. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, the evolution of 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 the of the hobby, the hobbyists.
Yeah, I'm not a. I personally am not a fan. I don't have to have it. I don't have to have it full size for me to enjoy it. You talk about games like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, those. You know, what does a full size cabinet do to for gameplay? I don't think it's that important. But obviously, some people want to have that part of history, and they want to have that in their collection. It's something I always wanted. I get that. Pinball tables are ginormous. I mean, I definitely don't have any interest in having a real pinball for the size, the weight, but as well as the maintenance. I'm not gonna. I get that thing. It's once something light goes out or whatever, I probably won't do what it takes to repair it. So for me, the full size cabinets of any sort is just not. I'm not the demographics for it. I like the 3/4 scale size. I like that's the perfect size. I'm 5'7". I don't have any issues with the size. I don't even have an issue with the screens. I haven't put a larger screen in any of my cabinets. You know, um, Now I did a new screen for my countercade that I'm going to be getting in. Um, it's on the same slope, both from China, so we'll see which of those things get first. I believe that will get here first before the pinball, but who knows? Um, and that was only $28 with shipping, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Oh. No, I'm like like I said, me and you, we're along the same ways. Like, I have no desire having a real life cabinet because I don't want to deal with the maintenance of it. That's the beautiful thing about these machines. They're very little to no maintenance at all. I mean, who knows about the longevity of the units? Like how long these screens are gonna last? We don't know because they really weren't meant for, I guess, long lives and stuff like that. But for what it's worth and what you're paying, I think we're getting our our best bang for our buck. And I'm happy with it. But again, like I said, there's a niche in our community that says, oh, I want to go bigger, I want to go better, and they're gonna do that. Go
No,
ahead.
but like I said, I enjoy going and playing the real pinballs a whole lot more than I ever did previously. That is for certain.
One hundred.
I have a video. I had a video that I put on my show from downtown Detroit where I went into the arcade down there. Had a ball, had a blast down there. They probably had 20 pinball tables in there and probably 30 of all the pretty much every cabinet that Arcade OneUp has made. That particular arcade had them. They had things like Cubert, which they haven't made, and a few games like that. But they pretty much had all the games that Arcade OneUp made prior to that visit, or they made them since that visit.
Well, Arcade One Up is smart. They know the list that they have are probably like they know they're going to do the top 50 to 100 arcade machines, whether they're independent or they're on the actual cabinet, like because of the collections. So they've been smart about it. They haven't really made any duds, and even the ones that they thought were not going to be the best sellers and they sold through their own site, retailers end up picking them up. Like nobody wanted Golden Axe. Then GameStop picked them up and RC Wiley. So they made some good choices. Attack from Mars wasn't supposed to come out to any retailers. However, Attack from Mars went to Best Buy, and Attack from Mars I think is got picked up from Walmart as well. So they've been very smart about the selections and choices that they made. So, if you look at like a Wikipedia and go top 100 um, cabinets, they're probably, if not already been released by Arcade One Up, are on the line to get there.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that the Rampage might have been the closest to a dud
Yeah,
with the Defender. Um, I would love for to see them redo that cabinet. Uh, but yeah, that's the only one that I think of all of the whole lineup that I just had zero interest in.
I can agree with that. Even though if you look at the retail of the secondary market on the Rampage, you would think that those were like gold nuggets. People want those, and I
Because they
think
had the one game. What was it called? Not Gauntlet. What's the where you're going through the maze and you collecting the bones? What's that game?
to ask the chat. The chat will know. Chat.
Yeah,
What's that game
on the
on that
Rampage
Rampage
cabinet.
cabinet?
I can hear the words in my head what it said all the time. What is that? It starts with a G. It starts with a G. But
You
anyway,
said
it was a
Gauntlet.
yeah, Gauntlet. Yeah, it was a 4-player game, but they only let you play 3 people.
Yeah,
Well, I think they only let you play 2 people. There's a 3-person
I,
cabinet with a 4-person game, but they only let you play 2. And then they had an issue where it would only let you get to a certain level, and then the game would just crash. So to me, because that the fender buttons being wacky, that game not being playable, that to me that was their only dud of what they've made so far.
yeah, like everybody has a bad day in the office. So um, lately they've been hitting some good ones. Re- Um, maybe not so much with their design, but their game lineups have been good. Their menu, the UI has been great. They need to go back to the drawing board in terms of their designs, because I think the last one that they did before these new footprints, if you look at that X-Men versus Street Fighter or the Marvel versus Capcom, those are the perfect ones. They have the perfect slant. They got the dual speakers. They got a nice control panel, and they started flowing the artwork from the top to bottom to the risers. They started listening to us, but sometimes you bite off too much than you could chew. That's the saying. I'm saying. They really wanted to give us an authentic look, but I don't think that they tested out these designs because yeah, it's not for everybody. If you're over 5'10", you're struggling looking at the monitor. Like nobody should sacrifice the comfortability to play their games. That just doesn't make sense. You shouldn't have to force
Like you're
someone to
breaking up a
sit
little
down.
bit there.
You shouldn't force anybody to sit down to play. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. And
I think that
granted that they have $80 stools as well. So you
it
force
kind
them
of
to
sounds
sit
fishy.
down,
You're
you
like
gotta pay
it feels like you're forcing us to spend an extra $80, and I don't like that.
uh, uh,
Listen,
stool
listen, guys.
for like $50.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave your channel. I just wanted to come in because I'm breaking up really bad, and I don't want to ruin the experience for your
Oh
fan
man, no,
again.
we appreciate you stopping by and putting the family on pause for a few minutes. So get back to the family, man. We appreciate you. You know we love you, brother. I'm assuming there's a show for you guys since you're down.
No
We'll
problem,
catch you
bro.
next time.
I'll see you next time, and you come on the new time on our show. All right. Love you guys.
All right, man. Peace out. Yes, that was pretty cool for your average gamer to come in, sacrifice a little time from the family. All right, guys. So what's on your mind? What's going on here? What do you guys got going on the weekend? This is Mother's Day's weekend, so we got to get our annual flowers and get those planted. That's what my wife and the girls have done for the last few years. They go out and get the pick out flowers. They plant them together. That's their little thing. So that's pretty cool. PDubs is here. Where he at? I don't see him. Oh, what up, Dubs? Yeah, I thought you were supposed to be with the missus. Where you at? I'm about to text her. All right, she's coming to get you. Did any of you guys buy your what? What are you saying there, Dylan? Oh, really? I did not know that. I know I had one stool that one of the screws didn't fit quite right. Eastern Market. Oh no, they didn't. They canceled the flower day the other at Eastern Market. I don't know what they're doing. Okay. Let's do this. Here you go, Dubs. Thanks, PDubs. I sent it to you. Thanks for the super chat, brother. It's a twofer. It's a twofer. I'm surprised Michael B's not live tonight. Michael B's live every twice a night, twice daily. What up? What up? What up, PDubs?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man,
What's going on,
I'm
everybody?
better now. Why do you look so short?
Why do I look so short? Because my chair's
I
broken.
don't know my chair.
I'm on one wheel. I'm on one wheel.
Oh, this is as low as my chair is going to go.
Yeah. So, So the wife is like, I gotta take care of something, and she's in the bedroom doing something. So I'm like, let me hop on real quick, bro. Let me hop on real quick. What's going on, Brad? Hollywood Polo, Devil Waldo, BA. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Super Game Room, dudes.
No, you said your wife's in there working on something. Does she have one of Glenn's gadgets?
Oh, does she have a thunder stick? I hope not. Because, like, it's Mother's Day weekend. I'm supposed to be the one helping her. Oh, this is getting bad. Knock it off, man. Knock it off. Hey, I got this in my loot crate. Check that guy out. That's my angry Doom guy. He was in my loot crate today. Pretty funny, huh? Yeah, just more crap to have around the house. Yes, guys, I got my cool Atari shirt on today. Did the arcade want to please come for me? No, they did not. News team, assemble! Send the link to Michael B. the Game Genie. Tell him to get on. Bless you. Detroit Love had to mute his stuff because he was going to sneeze. He didn't want to hear his sneeze. Oh, you're so polite.
Woo, that was something else.
All right, let's do it. What do you guys want to talk about? What were you talking about? What was going on?
Oh, man, we was talking about a little bit of everything. Talking about the pinballs. Your average gamer came on. He was talking about my prediction was that the E3 was going to be crappy like the CES was.
I don't know, man. I don't have a lot of high hopes for E3. There's a couple of new products that Arcade OneUp has yet to announce that I think some folks will find exciting. They also have a couple of products that just they're new. They haven't announced them yet. I don't think they're going to be very popular, but then again, that's just my opinion. So yeah.
So what about you think they're going to have some like bowling games or something to come out?
Well, yeah, I mean Simpsons bowling for sure, right? I mean, there's no doubt that's happening.
No, I hadn't seen the video. I saw a little bit of you guys just chatter.
Welcome to the Alien Podcast. This is the Alien Cast. So
I would love to have Silver Strike, man. That's what I've been waiting. You know, he teased us with that little thing at the CES 2 years ago, was it? Or was that just last year? And then just nothing. Yeah, that's what I love to have right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is your show, D Love. What do you want to talk about, man? I'm here to support you, brother.
Man, I've been out of the loop. Now. I did mention I do have my control panel coming for my
pinball.
Yep, pinball. That's
finally,
slow boat from China.
Nice.
So I can't wait to get that. I haven't upgraded to the newest CoinOps yet. Did you?
CoinOps 5.0. Yes, I did, and I have a video tutorial coming out tomorrow for everybody. So make sure you guys keep your eyes on my channel if you need some help with CoinOps 5.0, getting it set up on your Ultimate Arcade machines as well as your gamer devices. Make sure you tune in to PDubs Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate it when you hang out upstairs with us. And guess what, Detroit Love? I also did confirm that the Zack Pack is coming to ArcadeNet. When's it coming? We don't know, but it is coming. They're working on it. It'll be there because, man, there were a lot of people who still haven't bought the packs because they have the ArcadeNet subscription, right? And they were promised if you have your ArcadeNet subscription, you'll have access to the packs. Packs have been out for like a month or 2 months, over 2 months, and they're not here. You know what I'm saying? Like the packs aren't on ArcadeNet. AtGames needs to get those on ArcadeNet before people run wild with torches and stuff. Jamie Locken says, Super Alien Dudes. That's absolutely true. Deluxe tables soon. Yes, deluxe tables will be sooner than you think. I wouldn't be surprised, D-Love, if the deluxe tables come out before the packs end up on ArcadeNet. That's what I think is going to happen. What do you think?
Yeah, I would. I've been waiting for the deluxe tables. I can't wait because the tables that are out now are pretty doggone cool, but what they did with these deluxe tables.
Is that my internet crapping out or yours, or is your internet crapping out?
I don't see anything on this side.
All right. Hey, D-Love, I got an idea. When the Super Game Room Dudes ends, what we'll do is we'll go live immediately afterwards on your channel, and we'll call it the Super Alien Dudes Podcast, SAD, the Sad Podcast. You know what I mean? Like we'll just be sad aliens the whole time, and we'll just say everything sucks. Do you guys want the Super Alien Dudes Podcast? Let me know in the live chat. I want to see it, guys. Throw it in there. The Sad Cast. The Sad Cast. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, but what do you know about these deluxe tables? I mean, we haven't got a preview or anything. You would think they would at least have one table available.
Well, AtGames, all of them, every single deluxe table that's ever been created by Magic Pixel, AtGames will have as part of that deluxe pack. So you're talking about 11 tables, plus I think a couple of the award tables that didn't get released yet. Like the zombie table is technically one of the award tables. Stuff like that. So I think it's going to be anywhere from like 11, 12 games, something like that. So if we purchase the all 4 bundles, we'll get that one for free, or we have to buy it? No, man, that's gonna be a separate bundle. We'll all have to buy that. We'll all have to buy that. Yeah. Speaking of which, I played Ys for the first time today. I spent about an hour playing it on my Dragon's Lair iArcade back there. Ys just came out on the iArcade today, and it was really cool. Like, I mean, I only played an hour, so I didn't get that far into it, and that game's going to take hours and hours to play. But Michael B, the Game Genie, kept telling me I would like Ys, and I do. I've never played them before. Guys, if you played Ys, what do you think? Let me know in the live chat. Throw it in there, man.
I don't even know what that is. What's the premise of the game?
It's like an RPG. It's a lot like playing like a Zelda Final Fantasy type game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
How is it playing on the arcade? It's okay. No issues, no complaints. Dylan says Ys is great. Brad says it's good. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but then again, I only played an hour. I got to get further into the game. You know how these RPG games are when you first start. Like, man, you're like, shit, it's been 90 minutes, 2 hours, and I haven't really done anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Brad says it's as good as Zelda. No, he's asking. No, nothing is as good as Zelda, but it's really interesting. So
I played the initial Zelda, and I never played any of the other ones after that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, great music. People are throwing in the name of the deluxe tables. Yep, there's a lot of deluxe tables. RPG are long haul games. Yeah, and it's kind of weird playing them. So what's funny is you guys know I love standing in front of my arcades, but I knew I was going to be there for an extended session today, D-Love. So of course I had my stool in front of my arcade machine, and I sat on my stool for about an hour until my back started to hurt. And I was like, okay, I'll take a break. And then the wife got home and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So where's Michael B? Did he respond, or is Michael B live streaming right now, guys? I figured he would be because Super Game Room Dudes got canceled. I figured Michael B would take over the internet.
I didn't even see him on our thread when you were talking he didn't respond. So I
Yep.
figured he was getting ready for a live. But I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I wonder where Michael B is. Where is Michael B? Someone find Michael B. Where's the game genie?
Let me send him a link.
PDubs, did you send Hollywood Polo's mini gamer out yet? No, I have not, but I will be doing it this weekend. So we'll get it out. No worries. D-Love PDubs, what are your favorite RPGs? So obviously on the Nintendo Switch, it's got to be Breath of the Wild. I mean, it's just such an amazing, amazing game. On the Xbox Series X, I'm really digging Phoenix Immortals Rising. I've gotten pretty far. Hopefully we can get that game beaten. Let's see here. Going back in time, if I had to think about the original Xbox, my favorite RPG was Fable. On the Xbox 360, my favorite RPG was Fable 2. I did not like Fable 3 as much as Fable 2. I'm a big fan of the Fable series. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the live chat. What else? What other RPGs do I play? On the PC back in the day, my favorite RPG was to play Dungeons and Dragons Pool of Radiance. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that game, but that game was pretty awesome on the PC. We're talking back in the was that the MS-DOS days? Pool of Radiance. Dungeons and Dragons Pool of Radiance was my favorite PC RPG game. Absolutely love that game. And I think that game even got a Nintendo port, but I think it was awful or something.
And now, brother.
Yep. Lon says D-Love has lost all control of his show. Is that why? Well, I'm sorry. D-Love is your show. Go ahead.
You know I'll have a problem. Zork is the only game that I played, so you guys don't probably know about Zork.
Oh, yes, Baldur's Gate. I love Baldur's Gate. Skynet put that in here. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Although that wasn't that more of a hack and slash kind of one? Maybe that was more hack and slash. Well, it was like a hack and slash RPG, I think. Now, Mass Effect 2 I liked. I didn't like the other one. Like Mass Effect 1 was okay. Mass Effect 2 was great in my opinion. Mass Effect, what is that, 3? I don't think that one was as good. Final Fantasy, yeah. What sucks about Final Fantasy is there's so many games that eventually I just gave up. Like once they hit like Final Fantasy like 7, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, I think I've gone as far as I can. Let's see here. Did you like Baldur's Gate 2 with expansions on the PC? Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like more content, right? Who doesn't like more content? Who doesn't like expansion packs? Let's see here. So what are we jamming to, D-Love? What is that music I hear in the background?
That's just the ALP.
Oh, really? We're just jamming to some, what is that, Star God?
No, I believe that's the Devil Riders.
Oh, Devil Riders? All right, guys, let me track down the rest of the game room dudes. Let's see what happens.
They're gonna say you told them no show, and now you got a show.
Hold on, guys. Let's see if we can make this happen.
You know, my mic always picks up everything. I mean, that thing was barely on.
I'm sending them instant messages right now, guys. I'm like, before I get busted. Oh, guys, guess what? Michael B. the Game Genie says he's on his way. Game room dudes, assemble.
Let me send the Rastalgia link. I can't see through these dark glasses.
I know, man. Welcome to the Sad Podcast. Who we got? We got Joseph King just joined the show. Joseph Ing. Al says, I love these spur of the moment podcasts. Well, we love you, Al. Your artwork is amazing. Super Game Room dudes unite. How many people we got watching you right now, D-Love?
Hold on.
Let's find out. We only got 26 watching right now. What the heck?
27. Who was
Yep.
Oh, you know what? These are the best 27 people on the internets.
Yep. The best 27, the Secret Society of Game Room Dudes, SSOGD. We need to get that tattooed on our butt cheeks. That would be hilarious.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys. Don't worry. Michael B's coming. He's probably got to, he's got to sneak away, from his arcade OneUp arcade machines.
I need to get something to drink.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for Mother's Day? Yeah, she doesn't watch this show. You can spill the beans.
Who, the wife? For Mother's Day. So let's see what's going to happen on Mother's Day. So probably going to take her out to eat and, take her home and, take her,
Okay, you can start right there then. Okay.
We're gonna have her pay the rent. She's gonna pay the rent.
Yeah, we're gonna go Saturday because the girls always work on Sunday.
We need something to drink. Look at Devil Waldo. Something to drink. I'm drinking strawberry flavored water tonight. Wouldn't this be hilarious if we get an impromptu Super Game Room Dudes episode live right now, solely on Detroit Love's channel? Let's make it happen, guys. Let's make it happen. There's no one else on YouTube right now. Let's do it.
So, question.
Yep.
Do you turn on any of those games anymore? I haven't seen you playing any of those games back there.
These? Yeah, I just leave them. I leave them off when I'm live because I need to buy. You know what sucks? Do you know how many cameras I've bought since I started a YouTube channel? Tons. I've bought tons of cameras, right? But I need to find a really good camera that, for some reason, because when I have this crap on, what'll happen is like either the auto dimming feature kicks in, right? Because the games are on, so it'll darken everything and screw up everything. Or what'll happen is like, whatchamacallit, because there's activity back there, the camera will take me out of focus and put them into focus, so I'm like, forget it. Okay, so welcome to the Sad Alien Dudes podcast, SAD. Super Alien, Sad Alien. We're gonna call it the Sadcast, Michael B. So whenever Super Game Room Dudes goes off the air, we're gonna go live on Detroit Love's channel for a bonus episode for everybody. It's gonna be the Sadcast. So you need to get yourself one of these pairs of glasses, bro. All right.
It's so funny, Brad O'Connell, Game Room Dude Assemble. I almost wish that when I came into the backstage area, I just wrote you guys a comment on your left.
Oh, that would have been awesome. On your left. Man, I got to tell you what, though. The first time you watched Avengers Infinity War and you heard Falcon say that to Captain America on your left. Like Captain America, he's the last one standing. His shield's broken. His body's banged up. He's got the entire Thanos army coming to him. And all of a sudden you hear a little on your left.
On your left.
Oh, man. Grown men crying in tears in the theater. We're like, this is it. This is the moment. And all the holes opened up. All the heroes came in. The music started ramping up. And then, of course, they all had to do the pose.
Yeah.
And then it was like, charge! And we're all like in the theater going,
yeah. Well, I wasn't in the theater. I was at home on my couch watching a bootleg copy.
Oh, look at Lon.
I do it.
Look at Lon. Lon says we're wrecking D-Love streams. Sorry. Lon, you like us too. Come on, man. Lon, come on. Be nice, Lon Chaney. We've had some differences in the past, but we respect your opinion. So respect the fact that we're getting fired up here. Look at Dylan. Dylan's getting fired up.
Sad boys for life.
Wait a minute. We're supposed to be the sad, depressing aliens. Hang on. I'm sorry. Do you guys remember when the Black Widow died in Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, that was the worst part. She's my hall pass.
Debbie Downer. She was your hall pass? ScarJo?
ScarJo's my hall pass, yeah.
ScarJo's your hall pass? Very nice. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very nice. I know Nostalgia's hall pass is Ryan Reynolds.
But a real sad thing is that I hated that the actor from Black Panther passed, man.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to have any more shows, any more movies there. That's
there.
Are they going to recast him, or what are they going to do?
Well, the talk right now is that Suri, I think his sister, will take up the mantle as the next Black Panther. I mean, there's easy things you can do. Like they can bring back the bad guy from the first Black Panther and have him take over. You can always bring somebody back from the dead as long as they're not really dead. So it can be done. But yeah, they announced it in the Marvel lineup that was announced with the Eternals. The big commercial they did the other day. It's Wakanda Forever. I think it's Black Panther 2.
Okay.
Interesting.
Or maybe it was Black Panther Forever. I can't remember. They never do 2 anymore. They don't use numbers.
So are you is this your loft there, Michael B, or is this the office? Where are we at?
Yeah, this is my wife's office. When we moved in here, there was a plan that this bedroom was going to be my wife's office where she could work from home, and I had another room over there that was actually my game room. And some things happened sexually, and we ended up having a baby. So I lost my game room, and then my wife just never used this room. So here I am.
So you only had sex once, is what you're saying? No, it's kidding.
Oh my God.
Only once that can be proven.
Smashing toes.
So you have the Legends Ultimate and the IRK there in that room.
Yeah, well, I got to do some moving around. I also got my Legends Gamer Pro, and I've got all my mini consoles. And let me just show you here now. I've also got a giant, 55-inch TV right there, and that's what I play my retro gaming on. Okay. And soon I'm going to have my Legends Pinball up here too, because this is also where I have my gaming PC. So I want that close to my Legends Pinball for obvious reasons.
Right. Awesome.
Sorry, my sister's texted me. Sorry, one second.
No problem.
Go ahead.
So what was the latest cabinet you purchased there, Michael B?
I got Outrun from a friend of mine by the name of Mike Dalton here where I live. He ended up buying, when I sold my cabinets, he bought 4 of the 5 cabinets I sold, and now he's in the process of doing the exact same thing I was doing, getting the legacy cab. So he's selling off his stuff, and he had Outrun up for a really good price. I mean, $750 plus tax here. So he was selling it for $550, and I was like, whoa, slow your roll. I'll buy Outrun for that. So here we are.
So that's a stand-up one then?
No, we can't get the stand-up one here in Canada. There's only one Canadian with the stand-up cab, and that's our friend Conti Dinda. I've said Conti's last name wrong for sure, but Conti lives in Ontario, so they have some kind of shipsy, I think the thing is called, so they can buy stuff in the States and then get it shipped across the border.
Okay. Steven's chatting here. Hold on for a second.
Oh my God! Just tell Steve, God, Nostalgia. It's like talking to a chick sometimes. I swear
he's the worst. God. He's literally the worst.
He's the worst. It's like talking to a chick. Like you ask him a question and he answers a question with a question. You know what I mean? And that's what chicks do. And I'm like, just answer the freaking question. Nostalgia. Stop acting like a little millennial girl. Get on the podcast. Let's do it.
I'll have a conversation with him and I'll tell him something, and he just always comes back with he'll quote my thing and he'll be like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What does it mean? It means what I wrote."
Did you read it?
What does that mean?
Come on, let's get him in here. Tell him to hurry up and get in here. Oh man. Hopefully he's coming.
Oh, why? Is stuff going down?
Mm-hmm. No. Hold on. I just gotta make sure I don't get caught.
Get caught? What do you mean?
I'm not supposed to be on YouTube today. I'm supposed to be, you know.
What do you mean? What do you mean by this? What does that mean?
Living the dream. It's Mother's Day weekend. I promised her the weekend, right? That's why I filmed all my videos. I edited all my videos. Have all my videos scheduled to post throughout the weekend. There's 3 or 4 of them, right? In 2 days. Yeah. Right? Got all my videos ready. That way I don't actually have to be on the computer or anything, right? Got everything set up.
Yeah.
So I could spend time with her this weekend because it's Mother's Day weekend, and here I am.
Well, it's bedtime anyway now.
Yeah, it's not that late. Come on, D-Love, wake up. Give him a 5-hour energy.
No, well, it's bedtime here. You're behind us.
Yeah. So I've spent the last 2 nights up till 6 o'clock in the morning filming my Star Wars Pinball VR Oculus Quest video. So,
how's that coming?
Oh, I'm done. I'm done my first draft. It's sent back to the media team that reached out to us, they've seen it, they've reviewed it and gave it the thumbs up, and now it's gone back to Oculus to review, and if they're okay with it, hopefully I'll get to post it early next week. I liked it. I'm really happy with what I did.
Oh, okay, good. Well, we appreciate that. I can't wait to see it.
Nostalgia said he's already taken off his makeup and got his pajamas on.
He's the most vain of the Super Game Room dudes. Like, I've never been in a conversation with a dude before where he stops and says, "What do you think my hair looks like?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. That's not a conversation we have. Us dudes don't really ask us, what do you think of my hair?"
Wait, he said he's not coming? He's not coming?
Yeah, he said he's already in his nightgown.
All right, tell him to log in or he's fired. We're going to fire him.
He's taking off his wig and his makeup.
I mean, we've been looking for a reason to bring Mrs. Cogsar on us as Cogs are us on as a permanent host. Now's the time. It's time to trim the fur. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm a big retro gamer. I have Ease on in the background. That's what I was just playing when I got the message from Detroit Love, and I was like, "All right, man, I'm coming." But I'm very excited. I've played Ease on just about every iteration. I never had the Sega Master System version growing up. Of course, I never played the Famicom version. So Master System's the first North American, but the TurboGrafx 16 CD is where I really got into it. I'm sorry, PDubs, you want to jump in there, so I'll stop.
No. I'm just laughing at Skynet, who wrote that Nostalgia's braiding his knuckles. Oh, that's so mean. Oh, we know, guys. In all honesty, we love Nostalgia. The show wouldn't be the same without him. So yeah, he's staying.
And he's literally the best.
He's literally
the
worst.
Best.
No, he's the worst. He's the worst.
And the best.
And the best. He's the best and the worst at the same time. Wait, is he in the live chat?
Oh, yeah.
I already let my hair down and have taken my makeup off. I'm not coming on tonight, boys. Oh, come on, Nostalgia.
That's the kind of stuff my wife says where I'm like, "Hey, Lara, why don't you come in on stream?" No, I'm not wearing my makeup. I'm not dressed to go out.
If Nostalgia joins the show, I will give Detroit Love a $50 super chat.
Come on, Steven.
Nope. He's not coming.
But what's more important, money and friends, or taking a nap,
or makeup in your gown?
Nostalgia, come on, sad boys for life.
Sad boys
for life.
Anyway, let's talk about something so the crowd has something to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about, guys? Throw it in the live chat. The floor is yours. Ask us a question, make a statement.
I think they wanted to talk about Ease, and
sorry.
This is actually a huge deal for II Arcade. This is the game I've been waiting for. I know our friends over at Complete Geek TV, I've been talking to them back and forth. This was the game we were all waiting on. So very, very, very excited to play Ease on the II Arcade. It's fun to play things on a different, another .emu game. Yep, and I was surprised by that too. But I couldn't remember who did who ported it to because it's the PlayStation Portable version, right? These Chronicle Book 1 and 2. Maybe it's the Steam version now. I don't know how it works. But originally, when Ease Chronicle Books 1 and 2 were put together, that was done for PSP. So
interesting. So the versions that are on the iArcade could be either the Steam versions or they could be, you said, the PlayStation Portable versions?
Well, I think the version that's ported to the II Arcade is the PlayStation Portable version, but I don't know who did the last iteration. I have both of them on Steam right here on my computer. I actually bought them last week during the Steam sale. I bought every single Ease game. It's probably the same ones that are on Steam.
Okay, yeah, because when I think about that, what I find interesting is, John, there's some Switch games and some PlayStation games, and a lot of people are worried about Jong having like Android, or what these people, they call them phone games, because it's an Android port, they call it a phone game. These Android ports, and Jong and I were talking, and it's easier for them to port over a Nintendo Switch game or a PlayStation game, upwards of PlayStation 4 capabilities on their hardware. It's easier for them to do it because when it comes to Android, Android, you have to deal with getting rid of the touchscreen functions and all that stuff that comes with having an Android thing. I mean, that's probably one reason Retromania is taking longer to optimize, is because they had to create an Android port for it.
Yeah.
And then and add things to it that are exclusive to iArcade, like the camera's going to be zoomed more, online leaderboards, things like that. But also they had to get rid of the other stuff that Android usually requires, right?
Yeah.
Touch screen and all that junk. And, from what we're hearing, when it comes to these kind of modern games, we might see a lot more modern Steam and Switch and PlayStation ports ported over versus Android ports. So guys in the live chat, does that get you a little more excited about the iArcade, knowing that the quality of those games are pretty cool? You know what I mean? It's not like people are putting Nintendo Switch ROMs on an Arcade 1UP PCB. What's so funny?
Well, because you guys leaked all those Arcade 1UP leaks, you and Nostalgia, Jamie says the Arcade 1UP is sending the Copstitutes after you guys.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I took the video down, even though other people, was funny. You post a video, then other people make videos about your video. They re-upload your video essentially. So I was like, crap, it's out there. Maybe I should just put the video back up. But then again, I did a live stream yesterday where I said I'm not going to put the video back up. Oh man, I can't keep wiffle wobbling on all this stuff. Nostalgia keeps leaking all these leaks come from Nostalgia's PC, guys. That's where all the information is stored for the entire arcade world. So
I've got a dirty, I don't know what you would call it. A dirty, what do they call it when you've got like a guilty pleasure? So I've got a guilty pleasure. I'm a big Die Hard fan. And for some reason, I really like Die Hard 4. Have you ever seen Die Hard 4, Live Free, Die Hard?
Sucks. Yeah. Terrible.
You
Terrible.
don't like it? Really?
No, they went PG-13 and they made it lame.
He surfed a F-14 Tomcat.
Now, Die Hard 4, though, is that the one where they have Maggie Q in there as like the villain and the villain's girlfriend, the BA girlfriend?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Maggie Q, I got a little crush on her. She's kind of cute. That was the only thing I liked about the movie, was that Maggie Q was in it. But go ahead.
So Die Hard 4 is me and my wife's like go to sleep movie. Like whenever we're at our cabin and we're trying to get to sleep and we want to throw something on the TV and we just don't know what to watch, it's always Die Hard 4. We can watch it all the time. So there's a scene right at the beginning where the dude comes in and right before he blows up, he goes, "Guess who just made 50 G's?" And then he sits down and presses the delete button on his computer and his house blows up. So yesterday, after I finished not yesterday, this morning at 6 a.m., after I finished working on that video for the Oculus Quest 2, that's what I said. I came into my wife and I was like, "Guess who made 50 G's?" And I hit the delete button on my computer. Didn't blow up, though.
Oh, my goodness. You're hilarious, man.
Oh, Nostalgia, get out of bed. What are you doing anyways? You're like, "I'm in bed." You've been in the chat for 15 minutes now saying, "I'm going to bed." You could have been on here with us for 5 minutes.
Right?
Yeah. He didn't want to take his mud mask off.
Sorry, I'm just trying to multitask here. Hoping I don't get caught.
So yeah, I hadn't had anything interesting going on here, Michael B. I've been working like a slave, but
I know, buddy.
Yeah, it's been rough, but this today was probably the best day in a while. So I wanted to get on live and just say hi to everybody, because I seem like I've been slacking for the last few weeks here. But hope to get into it more. That's for sure.
Well, we appreciate you, Detroit Love, and your efforts and what you do for the arcade and gaming community. I mean, that's why we have the sad alien eyeglasses on. You know.
What happened to no show tonight? It's Mother's Day weekend.
What?
What happened?
Hello?
To no show tonight? It's Mother's Day weekend.
Hello, can I help you? Excuse me, we're live, Miss. Hold on, let me. I muted it for him. Don't need it. You got Lucy. You got some explaining to do. We're gonna remove. I removed them. I don't want any trouble.
In big trouble. Good night and good luck. Is he in big trouble?
Yep.
It sounded like it, didn't it?
Hello? Is everything okay over there, sir? It sounds
Guys,
like
I have to go. So I just wanted you to know that I have to go.
yeah, bye-bye.
So
Thanks for stopping by. Blame it on nostalgia.
I wasn't even supposed to be here today. I love Clerks. All right, guys, I'll see you on the leaderboards.
All right, brother.
That's funny.
That's almost like your wife the other day when you had your daughter's.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that did not go well. But anyways, everything's pretty good now. I got some weird comments afterwards after I posted the video. Like I got one today. Someone said this video is sad AF, and I was like, it wasn't meant to be sad. But it was almost cathartic at the same time though, because now I feel like a weight is off my shoulders. I feel like I can move forward and not buy every single arcade OneUp cabinet that comes out. Maybe.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. That'd be a good thing. I think you've bought enough, Michael B.
Well, definitely for now, but I got a message today with people asking me if I was going to get the Atari Legacy cabinet, the Tempest one.
That's the one I wanted. But yeah. I had on pre-order, but they were just playing too many games, man. It's like, come on. They kept changing the date, and as far as I know, no one has it yet. I was like, this is crazy.
Vic Vicious, are we getting Q beat at E3? You are not getting Qbert anytime soon. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, they're in control of when they announce these things.
Yeah.
To announce things and take pre-orders and then don't have dates for the pre-order. I mean, that's just open your mouth, insert foot. Yeah. And it's just really no excuse for that. Nobody told them to announce it earlier than the product's available. And I understand it's a marketing thing. They want to get the buzz out there. They want to lock people's intent up so that they don't consider other products. But it makes people frustrated. It's very frustrating to have no end to the no end in sight.
Well, I got some exciting news about that. Back in, I think it was December here in Canada, after a lot of people got really upset because they weren't originally going to do Marvel versus Capcom here in Canada. We just weren't going to have the option to buy it. A lot of people in our Canadian group complained, and they ended up giving in and giving us a Marvel versus Capcom pre-order, which was in December. And here we are, May, what's today's date? The 6th, 7th?
The 7th.
Yeah, so May 7th, people have actually started receiving their Marvel vs. Capcom cabinets. It only took 5 months.
I'm just so done with the fighting games. I don't have any interest in the fighting cabinets. I would like to see a light gun cabinet. I think that if that comes out, that'll be my next cabinet. I still may get the Atari if I come across it at a store, or if it actually pops up online to be purchased immediately versus a pre-order.
So I'll ask you a question. You've got a Legends Ultimate back there now. So if Arcade OneUp, because I don't think they're going to come out with another light gun cabinet this year. I think we got Buck Hunter, and maybe next year we'll get something else. But since you get your Legends Ultimate, and there's going to be light guns coming out for that, wouldn't you be okay with just getting a light gun add-on for your Legends Ultimate, or do you want an official light gun cabinet?
I don't have any allegiance to any particular cabinet or game. So yeah, the at game solution with an add-on would be fine for me.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of arcades. You know what I mean? I know other people have much stronger feelings for those type of things, and so I like to see them released. I like the more options that people have for this hobby is great. For example, my daughter's oldest daughter's boyfriend, his dad picked up a Legends Ultimate,
Yeah.
From Sam's Club. And when he came over, I think it was Christmas, he saw all the other games that were added on to it. He's like, oh man, my dad's got that, but he doesn't have any of these games, I made him a stick, and he finally got it going the other day because he had an issue where they couldn't get on Wi-Fi, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all these little issues. But for his dad, finally got him up and was playing, with his favorite games the other day. So, I mean, that for me, that was just exciting because I kept following up my daughter, like, hey, did your boyfriend, say anything about, his dad adding the games to it? And it's been months, but he finally got it going. But the point I want to make is, he purchased that cabinet. I know you and I have different opinions on those stock games, but console games on it, he bought that game and was perfectly happy with what games was on there. You know what I mean, just to be able to play those games, to have a cabinet in the house, and that's the excitement that I like about this thing. That for most people, they've never had an arcade cabinet in their home, in their bar, in their game room, in their family room, wherever they want to put it. And so the more cabinets are made available, that is that deciding factor for somebody to get into this home arcade thing. I'm all for it.
Yeah. So I'll rephrase my question. So Buck Hunter came out, and if you actually look at Buck Hunter, I mean, Buck Hunter is an arcade cabinet, but the guns are like so separate. They're attached with like a cord that really could be a controller cable. Then you step back, and most people were unhappy with the screen size, so they went and put like 42-inch LCD TVs in it. At that point, wouldn't you be better off just like buying Big Buck for the Nintendo Switch, Big Buck Arcade, and using the controller? I mean,
and using your 70-inch TV. Or...
Yeah, I know. Like it just, to me, Big Buck didn't seem like the right gun game. Like when I think like arcade gun game, I think Terminator 2. I think Operation Wolf. I even think the old Exidy gun games like Crossbow, and with the gun actually attached to the cabinet. Something like that is more appealing to me than a game where you have a gun and a cable, because I got lots of different options how to play games like that. So I'm not as jazzed up about an arcade cabinet where I'm going to be like, I'd rather play this on a TV.
Yeah. We were talking about this earlier. I haven't changed the screen size on any of my 3/4 cabinets, and I don't really have any interest to, but yeah, I agree with you. Last year I purchased this game for the Xbox shooter game. It was a cruise zombie game, but the mechanics of it was horrible.
Yeah.
So you had to have this reader that you had to put like 6 feet from the TV, and then you had to be a few feet behind that, and it was just awful. Yeah. But I would much rather play a game like that on my 55-inch screen TV than a 17-inch or 19-inch screen. So yeah, I'm not the right demographics for Buck Hunter. I used to play that on the PC years ago, and it's so slow. You're waiting for the animals to come out there. I was just never a fan. Now the bar that I go to often, and I was just there yesterday, they have Buck Hunter and they have Golden Tee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which are the two staple things for those venues. And I, whenever I'm there, someone walks away from the game, Golden Tee, leaves a couple of holes that you can play. I see people on Golden Tee, but I seldom ever see people on the Big Buck Hunter there. It's just one of those games that you either like or you don't like.
Yeah.
I would rather have an Area 51. We were talking about this earlier. That's the shooter game that I played the most. And then on the computer, I used to play Mad. Saw that one, Western. It was the Western shooter. Yeah. I enjoyed that. It was sort of like Mortal Kombat, where there was actually live people, right? In the game. So that was a pretty cool concept. What was he saying? Bobby Fu would disagree on screen size. course. Now, Bobby Voo's been doing quite a few pretty neat projects over there lately.
He's talented, man. Like seeing the stuff he do. Like I don't know, I would never buy another arcade cabinet. I'd just build all my own. Like he's a talented dude.
Yeah, he's got some good skills. I haven't seen his Ghostbusters modded toy shock in a while. I don't know if he sold that or if he still has it, but he's done some great projects.
Yeah, did you see Cool Toy? He just did a reskin on his Legends Pinball today. He's got it redone for Simpsons Pinball Party.
Okay, I did not see that.
Yeah, released a video late at night for Cool Toy video. Conte, my friend from Canada, our only Canadian with the stand-up outrun cabinet, says Buck Hunter is fun, but screen is small. Screen is small, and that cabinet is small too, man. Like I stood in front of it, and I was like, wow. Really needed to be taller, and I really wish they did something better with the marquee.
So you saw it in person?
Yeah, I played it twice at two different locations now. My friend Mike Dalton owned it, and I played it at his place. And you know, it's fun, but like you're playing it, and you're like, ugh, this feels weird. I'm sure for the people that like it, it'd be a lot like Outrun with me, where once you get into playing it and you're playing it, you stop thinking about where the cabinet's to. You stop thinking about the size and you just enjoy it. But yeah, cab is really, really small. It feels small. And I played it also. There's one set up at our Brick here in Canada, a demo model. And my friend that's a salesperson at the store, he says that you have to constantly calibrate the gun like every single time you play it. So I don't know if I can't comment on that if that's true, but maybe there's a problem with their unit.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl.
Oh, no problem. Now, do you know what Hollywood Polo's asking here? Are you familiar with this Capcom arcade stadium?
No, Polo, I'm glad you're okay. We were worried about you Monday night. We didn't see you on the chillin' chat, and everybody was asking. We were like, everybody know if Polo's okay? I don't know what Capcom Arcade Stadium for Steam is in June. Buying like Capcom arcade games for me is a little bit different because I mean I have so many arcade one-ups. I also have my At Games Legends Ultimate, so really have so many good ways to play Capcom arcade games. I don't know if I'd be interested in playing them on a PC as well.
Yeah, I haven't played the Buck Hunter game, the real one or the arcade one-up.
Yeah,
but I would imagine they went with that one as their first one because it's not a whole lot of fast movement. You know, like with zombies running at you. Those other games, you're shooting more than you would with the Buck Hunter. Is that not the case?
I think that's partially part of it, but I think another big reason they went with Buck Hunter first is the exact same reason you said earlier at your bar. There's two arcade games, Golden Tee and Buck Hunter. So they're not selling to us, which are the 10%, or as Nostalgia calls us, the 1%, the vocal minority. They're trying to reach out to other people and expand their customer base. And how many people have downstairs bars that would love to get a Golden Tee and would love to get a Buck Hunter, just like the bars they remember going to growing up.
Right. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of the full size cabinets at all. So if I was going to have them, it would be the 3/4.
I have heard a lot of talk. I've never seen anything. I don't know if there's any confirmation of this. Heard a lot of talk about Arcade One Up doing a premium line that's a full-size cabinet. And I would be totally okay with that. I would like to see a bigger arcade, especially after getting the legacy cabinets and being an extremely frustrated 5'11" man.
Yeah, and again, I don't have an issue with Arcade One Up doing 3/4 because they're not going to be 300 pounds.
Yeah,
and they're not going to have mouse pee from 40 years ago, seeping into the wood. So so I don't have an objection at all to that. What's that?
Kev Grit, Arcade 1UP and Premium are two things that don't go together.
Well, yeah, it'll be a different spin on Premium.
Yeah, and Kongzera said he never played Buck Hunter before. I will say I never played the game before. That's not something I ever come across, but it did seem fun. And when I was over at the guy's house, like a lot of the other friends he had over there were playing it, and they enjoyed it. So I can't say it's not fun. It's not for me. It's the one cabinet I've been able to stay away from, guys. Give me a break.
Now, I played on PC. I think it was just called Deer Hunter is what I played on the PC. That was a long time ago. So I've never played the arcade version of Big Buck Hunter.
Jamie says, do you think they put the brakes on the Pro Cab given cost increase of everything? I think maybe they put the brakes on the Pro Cabs if the Pro Cabs were ever a real thing. I think we're also going to get a smaller announced lineup for E3 than we were originally as well, because they were really, really. You saw CES, how many new cabs came out. Plus, then we still had E3. I think. Oh my God, what am I doing with my hat? I think they plan to release a lot of cabs this year, and I think once supplies got short, they ran into logistical issues. They decided to reduce what we're going to get at E3. So I think there's been reductions in pretty much everything that's coming out.
Well, I think the good thing about it is they haven't announced any price set. So, and there's room for a higher price anyway with it being the premium. So, So I don't think it affect them if they came out with them at the appropriate price due to the price increase versus if they announced it at one price and then had to raise it before they released things.
Yeah.
That would be a disaster.
Polo's got a question for us too. Detroit Lobby says, do we prefer the gun 4IR or Sinden light guns for shooter games? The only one I've ever tried was the Sinden on the Buck Hunter cab. Have you tried any of those guns?
I have not tried anything other than that wacky thing I told you I got from Amazon and returned promptly. No, I know quite a few people have done the Wii, put the Wii games in, and they're perfectly fine with that. But again, if I'm going to do a Wii conversion, I much rather play it on the 55-inch screen.
Exactly.
Than to stand at the smaller screen. So that's the issue. Especially if you're talking about zombies and things like that, where they're running fast at you. You want a bigger screen.
Kongzera is asking if we want us to join, we want him to join us. So I don't know if that's up to you, man. It's your show. But I will say the big difference there with that, where I support it, is what you like to have there is a variety of cabs, but you're not doing like a basement like I am with all the branded cabinets. So the people that went out there and did the Wii House of the Dead mod, they also decorated their cabinet as a House of the Dead cabinet so it fits in. So they're going for that House of the Dead aesthetic as well. I think that's the idea. It's not just adding a gun game to an arcade. It's specifically trying to add a arcade 1UP version of House of the Dead that will match their other cabinets.
And again, every cabinet is going to touch people differently.
Yeah. Just one quick second. Vic Vicious is also, he's asked us a couple times, and I apologize, Vic. I don't think we're going to get a Darkstalkers collection cab. The only two I know about are Darkstalkers and then Night Warriors, but I'm not sure if Night Warriors was called something different in the arcade. I had it on the Saturn, so I don't know how many Darkstalkers arcade games there were. Maybe it'll something that will come eventually, but I don't think we're going to get it anywhere in the near future.
Hey, Kong, you have the link, so just check your messenger. Yeah, the thing with arcades, you play what was near you. there's tons of games that you just never played because they weren't locationally convenient, right? So like I know people talk about games. I'm like, I've never played that game. They're like, oh man, that's all they had, and they played it over and over and over. There are 7 Darkstalker games.
Yeah, I just read that too. I've only ever seen Darkstalkers 1 and Night Warriors.
Let's see. Kong, I sent you the link in your messenger. What's your favorite candy bars? Like I said, I don't discriminate against sweets, but if I buy a candy bar, it's typically a Snickers. Over in Canada, they have what's that thing called? The Big Crunch. What's that thing called?
Well, which one? Big Crunch? What are you talking about? Nestle's Crunch or
no? It's not a Nestle. It's
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
Yeah, Mr. Big. That sucker is sweet. Oh my, that thing is super sweet.
Oh yeah, yeah. You feel bad about yourself after you eat it.
I know. But I love that, and I like the Almond Joys. Almond Joys is never.
They have nuts. Mounds don't.
Right. But I prefer the smaller bag with the bite-sized ones versus the other side.
Yeah, I like M&M peanuts is probably my favorite go-to when it comes to like chocolate candy bars, but I don't eat them very much. I used to love M&M pretzels, but we can't get them anymore here.
Well, you know what I love over in Canada? I love the little pies. What are those things called? What do you call those little what the hell is it called? It's escaping me, but it's like a little pie.
Okay.
Tarts.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I used to work. You remember Tim Hortons, right?
Yeah.
So I used to
Walnut Crunch, which they didn't bring over here when they brought the stores. Oh, I hated that.
Oh, I'm talking about something else. Every summer, and I'd only ever work at Tim Hortons in the summertime. That was my non-university job. I'd work overnight baking muffins. And then butter tarts count, he says. But they used to bring in these strawberry tarts just for a little while over the summer. And man, I would eat like 15 strawberry tarts a night. Loved them. It's a miracle I never got fired for that.
What up, Econ?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for the invite. Heard you guys were interested in hearing about some light guns. Been doing some content on them recently, so happy to share any insight. But yeah, light guns are interesting topic, right? Between the Sindins that are in the Buck Hunter versus the Sindin techs that people have been slowly getting. Did you guys ever order those or no? Getting your own guns? Have you ever set up like, did you ever do like the Wiimote, the flash bars, any of that stuff, setting up light gun setups?
Yeah, okay. Well, not in an arcade cabinet, but like I have like House of the Dead 2 and 3 for the Wii, so I played it that way. And also, if you mod a Wii, you can play NES and Super Nintendo gun games with your Wiimote as well. So
very cool. Yeah. So, but the accuracy on a Wiimote is pretty much using IR sensor technology. So you're always limited to like that top bar portion of it. And the whole thing about Sindin and the driving factor for it was the border thing and the accuracy. But if you've never seen the setup, the wiki and everything it takes to get going, it's definitely you'd almost have to donate an arm and a leg or have a PhD or something just to make sure that you understand the GUI and setting it up. So I have them. They're pretty awesome. They're both feel really good. But yeah, the Gun for IR is just, it's simplistic because it's using Wiimote IR sensors, but instead of having a single bar, it's the 4 sensors on all sides. So it's been exciting to test them out, but it's been cool.
And what games are you testing that with?
So I have a MAME setup, and I have a lot of the classic games that run there. I have them set up in Model 2, and I have a Model 3 setup, and then some of the Technoparrot games. So I have like a mini gun playlist that I put together. I'm a big PC guy, so I use Launchbox pretty much for most of my emulation to kind of set things up. So I have it, and I have. Let me pick up the guns really fast so you guys can see them. So yeah, so this is the Sinden, right? So it's nice and thick and heavy, has the recoil inside of it. And then this is the, have you seen these before? These are the Super Jolts. These are the PS1 Super Jolts. And so the gun, so the Sindens came in recoil and non-recoil, right? But the Super Jolts were actual PlayStation 1 guns that have this cockback feature. You see that?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? And
That
then
is
so
cool.
this is modded using the IR sensor technology, and then there's an Arduino that's built inside, and so it's super accurate. And then there's a board, like if you hold it down, it does that. It's just
Oh, wow.
really cool. So I'm just backing it. I'm just like, the TV's not even on right now, but I'm just pointing it towards like where it should sensor it, because like that's where the IR sensors are, and it's just like I'm not even shooting anything. I'm just like going. It's just fun. So
See, you're like the guy who walks into the gun store and you're like, I'm here to buy a gun for protection. They were like, would you like a normal revolver? You're like, no, I'll take the AK.
yeah. I've been to a gun range once, and so I've only actually ever fired a gun one time in my life. And you know, the recoil on a real gun is definitely not the same as an arcade gun, but it
Oh,
I want
it's
it. It's not like you're expecting like, and we did. I forget the gun it was we were holding, but it was one of the ones where, like, if you didn't hold it tight, it would literally cock back and like hit you in the face. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It was.
I've only shot a real 12 gauge.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I got my target thing here on my loud furnace for you, Michael B.
Oh. The furnace doesn't come on when you host StreamYards. It's almost like you do it intentionally to sabotage Super Game Room dudes.
I guess my wife gets hot or cold on the days we have.
Oh, that's what it
PDubs,
is. She's trying to tell you to come upstairs. She needs some D-love. I'm cold.
It's amazing the sights and sounds you hear when D Love's on stream. So
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful.
Always fun. Exciting times. To
And
hear.
maybe it's this headset. It's not picking up the other ones. Pick up everything. This
So
is
are
my
you
Xbox.
is this your garage that you're in? Because sometimes when I see your backgrounds, Detroit Love, you have like kind of the tarped off background area. Is
Well,
that
no, this is basement.
basement?
So my basement's not finished. So
Oh, got it. Okay.
yeah, so it's just all just wide open. So I have
Got
like
it.
curtains or whatever that separate some areas. And what it is the builders, they put this what they call builder installation on the wall, because otherwise it would be concrete walls and it'd be colder, you know. So they put up
Okay.
this plastic. So people call it my Dexter. I don't know if you're familiar with
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah, it definitely looks temporary, but I'm sure there's some. I mean, if you backlit it, that'd be a cool looking like translucent wall there, so you can get some nice looking, some arcade background going.
Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Lowe's sells the brick, the faux brick
Oh, okay.
panels, and I'm going to put that up there. But my wife is not a fan of it, but she's usually not a fan of anything until after she sees it. So I just had to sneak them in and put it up.
Live stream during Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, someone else is in
Oh,
trouble.
I am, and your eyebrows are looking really
Oh,
good.
they look really nice, and you didn't
Well, I
even have to
used my
draw them on.
eyebrows for you.
Yes.
I love the fact she's wearing the shirt, too. This is just so perfect.
Yeah.
I did not prompt her to do any of this, by the way. So, but look, did you notice Michael B's hat, by the way?
Oh, LA love it.
There you go. Are you a fan at all? Is that why you have it? Are you?
I'm a fan of the hat. I collect baseball hats, and I go to. I've got a dream to go to every single baseball stadium. I'm actually a Cleveland Indians fan, but I just love baseball.
Oh, that's awesome. Can you hear it close enough?
I can't hear, but who is this Mrs. Kong?
That's your
Yes.
mother-in-law.
It's like my mother-in-law's here.
Yes, it's not Mrs. Kong. It's Mrs. Kong's are us. And
Right.
you guys have always been really gracious at saying that and recognizing her. So she put on the shirt. What are you drinking tonight?
A nice rosé.
Celebrating
Oh no,
Mother's
rosé!
Day.
Nice.
Oh my god, it's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
You don't know.
I was about to say that's a very dark rosé. What else you got in that? Some
Thank you,
like
Double
dark
Value.
rum?
Yeah. And which number glass is that, by the way? You don't want to know.
You don't
This
wanna
is
know.
a Friday night, so we usually can get down. So I love it. We're hanging out. It's Friday night with Detroit Love. So thanks for the invite and hanging out. She actually got to test both of the light guns yesterday. Did you, first time not really knowing either one? Did you like one gun over the other?
I did, but I would have to say for both guns, it was a workout. I didn't realize how heavy it was at the solenoids. Is that what's causing the weight?
Yeah, they're pretty heavy. They have a lot of tech inside of them, so they're pretty hefty.
Well, you said the
And,
one has a little mini computer inside, right? So
Yeah,
that adds some weight to it.
yeah. Got it. They're actually both almost the same weight, actually,
Okay.
between the techs of them. So, and the person who modded this one, it's completely gutted, and it does have like a full-on camera inside, and it has all the little parts. So I didn't know what it used to weigh, but they're both really hefty. It's an arm workout. That's why people do this to hold it. So it feels nice in hand. They feel fun.
So neither one of those are off the shelf products, or
The
they're-
Sinden is the Sinden still takes a lot of. I mean, the nice thing about the Sinden is it's a single wire. It's a single USB, so that plugs into your PC, or it does work somewhat with the Pi. There's still some configuration you need to do with it, but it's powered with a single USB. So the single USB only draws like usually 5 volts, but the solenoid is really strong. When you like hear it, it like pops, and I was surprised at how strong it felt. Imagine if you're playing your arcade OneUp pinball only on 5-volt solenoids, you barely feel anything, right? And it's because those are 12 volts that are coming into it. And so the fact that they were able to build that into the gun, like that's really amazing engineering. It's just the dependency on your lighting and the environment.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like even with Buck Hunter, that's why they don't have a lit marquee on Buck Hunter, right?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I know Unqualified Critic said that in his review that he had his Buck Hunter next to another cabinet, and he noticed some misfires because of the light up marquee on the cabinet next to it.
Yeah, so exactly the light border to be able to detect the window correctly with the Sinden camera, it needs to be like almost precise to your environment and not having anything else distracting. And so when I was using my big screen TV, you guys were mentioning about, I have a 50-inch TV I was testing it on. It's right behind a window, or in front of a window, and so that light was interfering, and it was jittery. So even though the border was on, you'd hold the gun still, but the cursor would be like trying to find its spot instead of like really being dead on. And you can see that when you're emulating, you see the cursor. But the calibration on the Sinden tech within the Buck Hunter feels good. I mean, you had fun with Buck Hunter, right? Is that something that you...
yeah, it was bucking fun. I mean, it's something a lot easier to use, but I think maybe if we played, I guess, with Sinden in the dark, it'd be better.
It might be, yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of activities you could do in the dark. You gotta pick and choose.
She's full of all the one zingers and things. She knows how to have fun for sure. But the lighting of environment absolutely impacts it. And I think Brad was asking, does the Sinden work better by itself? You know what? I don't know if the IR sensors were impacting the Sinden. I don't think it would, because it's really just tracking the white border, because the IR sensor is on the side, and they're literally it's another person. Just another thing that's sticking out of the TV. So I don't think it should have affected anything. Maybe internally, software side, since you had to have the Sinden software running and the Gun for IR is there, and they're both registering as 2 mice. So that might be the competing thing. You have two mouses, computer mice, competing against each other. It's the only thing. Bucking in the dark. Devil Waddle. Yes. You have flans, did you know?
I should hope so.
And what do you guys think? I know it's been a couple months, but like, do you think OnlyFlans is dead, or is that gonna stick around? Like, I know you guys have been phasing things in and out. She's keeping it alive, as you can see.
Do you want to know the real reason why? Nostalgia immediately tried to put it under the carpet, because he only wants the jokes and comedy to involve him. He's such an egomaniac that every time we come up with something that's natural and doesn't involve him, he just wants to bury it right away. He's like, this is not good for the show. It's not that it's not good for the show. It's not good for nostalgia.
Oh, that's interesting.
So should I be wearing a giant shirt, like with something back here with his face, or?
Yeah, that's the only way he'd be happy with it. Like if we sent you a for real shirt, he'd be like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever. This is really good branding for the show. It's excellent." Then he would take off his hat and bring his puffs of hair out and say, "How does my hair look?" And you're just like, "It's fine, man. Come on, let's go on with the show." He's very vain.
I bet he's still watching in his sleep right now in bed, just waiting to calculate his response. And I love how the little things just come up and take off in the Super Game Room, dude. So that's always great, and how you guys interact with the fans. So appreciate you guys. It's always fun.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming by, man. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Now, is that red wine you're drinking, or what do you got there?
It is red wine, so it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. To be honest, it's a box wine
Okay.
Trader
from
Joe's.
Trader Joe's.
So good.
Yeah,
It's,
Trader Joe's has some good stuff. Aldi has some great
Economy
stuff as
wine.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my favorite thing when my sister-in-law comes to the house. She brings her box of wine. She's like, "Do you have room in your fridge for this box of wine?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have room in the fridge for a box of wine. It's a giant box."
No, this one's not that big. It's about like 3 liters, but it's pretty good. I like when you tap it, it actually vacuum seals everything. So technically,
Nice.
it's keeping your wine.
Yeah.
For you.
Aerated.
So I gave up drinking a couple years ago. I don't drink at all, but my wife still enjoys wine, but it's got to be very sweet. And every now and then I'll have maybe something with her. Like I don't know what you say about this. Like I'll drink champagne, but it's got to be cheap champagne. Like I don't know if you guys have Baby Duck, but like the cheapest champagne ever, I'll drink that. Or my wife gets rosé or a white wine with a sweetness 4 and above. Or I don't know if 4 might be the highest, but very sweet wine. I'll have a sip of that, but other than that, no, don't drink at all.
Wow. I don't think she could last 2 days without trying to drink something.
I've never been able to drink red wine. I've always found it to be too I don't know. It's like a thick wine. I don't know. I don't know what the right term for it is.
Oh, well, I've learned to appreciate some of it, but I'm such a cheap date. Like she knows how to put down her alcohol, and I will be half a beer in and she'll finish it and I'll be red and passed out on the floor. So, but Brad, did you see Brad's comment a little while ago? So the thing that Mrs. Kongzaros appreciates much is that I'm such a lucky man to have a sweet wife with on point eyebrows. Your eyebrows are so on point, and for everybody that recognizes that, she spends time putting on her eyebrows just for you guys. So
It took longer to do these eyebrows than
appreciate-
putting on the shirt.
That's always sweet for people that recognize that. So I do not drink, if that makes sense.
I don't not drink. Double negative.
I don't not drink.
We're in the same club.
Good stuff.
I used to drink, but then Michael B gave me a hard time. He said I was turning into a lush. And
That
so,
was the best time when you were
No.
drinking on camera.
Oh
on the
man, yeah.
show.
Actually, you got to do that from now on.
that was really entertaining.
Yeah.
I watched that show. That was pretty entertaining. That was good stuff. That's how you want to feel like when you're hanging out with the Super Game Room dudes, that everybody can crack open a beer on a Friday night, hang out and chill. So you guys bring
absolutely. Absolutely.
Or whatever the hell Carl was drinking with like 6 beers in it, like a little bit of margarita. Like
it.
it was
It
crazy.
it was like the margarita with the Corona inside, right? It was
Yeah.
a Corona
Yes.
Riga.
Yeah, a Corona margarita.
Okay.
Corona
Wow.
margarita. Yeah. It's my kind of drink. There we go.
Oh man. I remember the first time I had one, I'm like, man, this thing is cool.
What's the place that it's in Niagara Falls? That's the only time I've ever seen one. It might be in Florida too. The guy who did Margaritaville. Do you know what I'm talking about? The musical artist that did Margaritaville. He's got his own restaurant chain, or
Oh, I forget who it
I'm
is.
not sure.
Carl, you're partially Canadian. Come on, you got to know.
I can't think. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, there's a restaurant called Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, and I've never been there. And every time I walk by it, I'm like, you know what? That'd be so fun. You go in, you get your drinks with your umbrellas in them, and you could just have such a blast there. But of course, I can't get anybody to go, mainly because the only time I'm ever in Niagara Falls, I'm there for work trips, and it's not like people want to get wasted at Margaritaville on a work trip.
Not that anybody's been traveling a ton in the pandemic, but have you guys ever been to like one of those all-inclusive resorts?
Never.
Like we
I have.
went to. You have? Yeah. we're,
Jamaica.
Yeah, we went to Jamaica for a wedding, for my cousin's wedding, in was it 5 years ago already?
Yeah.
Something like that. Well,
Which city did you guys? You guys went to the Sandals, or you went to
Monterey.
Yeah, but
Montego Bay.
Montego
Montego
Bay.
Bay, yeah,
That's
sorry.
right.
Yeah,
and so
that's
you're
where I
in
went
the-
as well.
You're in the pool and you can like be drinking, and the bar person was like, hey, it's Jim Beam Man, because she would walk up and that's the only thing she would get, and he would remember and called her Jim Beam the entire weekend, and that's all she would drink. And I tried some, what is it? What's the red beer?
Red Stripe.
Red Stripe.
I'm not
Oh
a
yeah, yeah,
Red Ale
Yeah.
fan.
yeah.
But all you can drink, all you can do locations. That's
Yeah.
a trip.
The Jamaica
Does-
rum is just delicious, man. I love the Jamaica rum. I've been drinking it since I went to Montego Bay.
So when you were having the red
I
stripe,
think it's
were they-
Appleton. Go ahead, Mike B.
Oh, Appleton.
so when you were having the red stripe, are the little stubby bottles there too? Like we get them
Yeah.
here imported. And
The
they're-
the little short
Yeah.
bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. But again, I'm such a cheap date, especially in those, because like I'm the type of person that if I spent the money and it's all inclusive, I'm trying to maximize every meal that I can eat at, every dining meal, every restaurant, and then every time it's like, oh, it's been 45 minutes that I had my last drink. All right, bring another one, and then you're like passed out half the time. So
I love it. Skynet. This is Jim Beam. That was Talladega Nights.
Mrs. Jim Beam, that was very good.
Now, did you guys leave the resort at all and do any on location activities?
Just the wedding.
Yeah, the wedding was
Yeah.
off-site, but other than
Okay.
that, we stayed on site.
Yeah,
So
we,
Okay.
Do you guys
Our
not watch
oldest
like
was
movies?
little.
Like, have you not seen Hostel? Like, what are you doing leaving the resorts?
Hold on, we went horseback riding. And we went through the it's a portion went through the ocean on horseback. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I wanted to do the jeeps,
Cool
but
runnings.
What? Cool runnings? What?
Wait,
Where?
there was a cool runnings museum? What?
No, there's a cool runnings course.
Oh, course that you can do. Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
oh right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, that
but
whole
everybody
place is-
everybody should get to Jamaica, man. It's
Yeah.
that was at one of the resorts for sure. It was tons of fun. We were
I
there, I
would
think
agree.
7 days.
Yeah, and the price is definitely reasonable compared to like going to like a Hawaii trip. That's not all inclusive, and their whole economy, a lot of it is built on tourism too. So, to your point, Michael B, going outside, we were treated super well, and
Really?
they know their business model for sure.
So
Yeah,
I had a buddy that he was an accountant, and when you first get out, like you can make really good money if you're willing to leave where we are in Newfoundland and go to one of these places. So he went to Bermuda, and like you think about it, he's going to live in Bermuda for a couple of years.
Mhm.
Anyways, like it's amazing, but he said the biggest problem was even though it's a place that's built on tourism, the locals hate tourists, hate them. Like it's crazy. Like they despise the tourists. They hate the people coming in. But I guess it's the same thing. Like for people that live in where is it? You always see it in movies like Jaws. Like the locals in these coastal communities in Maine hate the leavers or the fall leavers, even though they bring so much money into the community. They just can't stand them for whatever reason.
That makes sense. Are we losing him? Can you hear him?
Fall,
He kept trying to blame me all night that it was my internet.
You
No,
are
we good.
stuck face Detroit love right now, so we are.
I actually have to clarify. 19K Fox. I'm actually a single malt gal.
Oh,
Single malt Scotch, not a
there it
bourbon.
is. I know. I feel like I'm empty now. I need to go get my my michelada. Where's my michelada? Oh, you're gonna go get a refill? Can you get my michelada?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah,
I should
grab
be,
me one too.
I know I should be waiting her. It's Mother's Day weekend, but oh man, like, have you ever seen that with PDubs? That was hilarious.
That's still not the best thing that's ever happened.
No?
No, not on a live chat. Now we had a chat in the background one time where we brought up something about something that well, I can't say it. I'll get in trouble when I Detroit love. You know what I'm talking about, right? The thing that Glenn might or might not make.
Right. I brought it up earlier, so
Oh, did you really?
because he said his wife was in the room working on something or doing something.
So I don't know. Do you know what a thunder stick is by any chance, B?
Like a real thunder stick?
Yeah, like
I know the brand Thunder, like
Yeah.
Glenn's brand. Yes.
well, Glenn's brand, and then like if you look it up, because I was
All right,
doing.
I gotta Google. I have Google right now. I'll ask
You
Mrs.
might-
Congress, have you ever heard of a thunder stick?
The ones that make noises when you clap them together.
Yeah.
It's not a brand. It's a thing.
Yeah, I like when you go to like a Lakers game, you're like clap, 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 clap.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
I just googled it. That's the first thing that came up is
That's
shop
fully
thunder
a
sticks.
thunder stick.
All right, and there's a band called Thundersticks, and all right, I'm going to Amazon. Ah, the original Thunderstick supercharged wand.
Well, those are
Yes,
useful at
yes.
Yes.
So,
Well, we don't have
anyways, we were talking about that
Says
because
you.
what happened was I did a Centipede review and I reviewed Glenn's trackball. So I was trying to find a link for people to go to Glenn's store or how to get Glenn's gear. So I was online and Glenn's stuff comes up under Thunderstick. So then, of course, I went to Amazon and looked at Thunderstick and I was like, oh my, these are all wands, massage wands. And so I came back and at the time I didn't know. So I brought it up with the rest of the Super Game Room dudes and I was like, guys, does Glenn have a side business making like female pleasure toys? And PDubs was like, what are you talking about? And we were like, like there's female pleasure toys. He was like, no, that's just a shoulder massager. My wife has one. We're like, no, man, that's for ladies. So he starts yelling at her. He's like, hey, is that a shoulder massager you got there?
Like calling her out live, saying what is this device used for and its functionalities. That's hilarious. Oh my god, what would you do with that? The first thing you would get it? Would you use it to massage your shoulders?
Why did you ask me the first time I got it?
She's a simple gal. We have a really funny story about toys. If you want to tell it.
What? I don't know. Should I
No.
be drinking more?
No.
All
No, just.
right, let's go to the next room.
Where are you going? She's trying to shoo the kids away because they're right next to us. That's okay. They're on their digital babysitters right now. They're super fun, but maybe if they come back. But
Yeah.
this is an interesting Friday night conversation. I didn't think we'd be having at all, but hey, it's fun, right? I hope you guys are enjoying it in the chat. You guys seem like we're having some fun things there. Sure, a shoulder massager. That's awesome. Deep shoulder massages.
Now at the same time, I think he was joking, right? Like, I don't think he was serious.
But yeah, but honest, I guess innocently enough, like when I Googled it, I was like, yeah, that's the first thing that comes up. But then the third thing that comes up on Amazon, I got you now. I see where you're coming up with it.
Yeah.
I know. All right, so so she's getting the kids away. But so she's a simple gal. And her favorite mini stick was a 99-cent.
Oh yeah.
Like have you guys ever heard of the Virgin Megastore before? Like, have you ever heard of Virgin, like the Virgin brand at all?
Yeah.
The music.
So the Virgin music label used to have in LA, it's like a really famous on the Sunset Strip, the Virgin Megastore, and it used to be like a Sam Goody or a place that sold records and like miscellaneous things. But they had this miscellaneous bin of pleasure toys, if you will. But like we were just really cheap out of college. Like, oh, like let's just like see what's here. And they're like 99-cent clearance toys. And it's her favorite thing ever. Best deal. And I say this because I see the Thunderstick, and I would buy something like that, and she would use it as a real massager instead of what other thing would be used for. So she knows what she likes. She's a real raw woman, and I just like the.
Why are you boys blushing? We're talking about me.
You should see that. You got to read the comments.
Oh my goodness.
All of a sudden, my wife wants to watch the show now. 99-cent bin at the Virgin Megastore.
Yeah.
It's where it's at. Screw the Thunderstick on Amazon. But the problem is these brick and mortar stores, these Virgin Megastores, Tower Records,
Tower
right?
Records? Oh my gosh.
It's a sad state of affairs for finding discount pleasure toys.
So one of the best things about Super Game Room dudes is a lot of the stuff that comes up and becomes bits like we do on our show is all very generic. It just happens and then we turn it into something. I think we've got something here. I think that we need to do a Super Game Room Dudes after show called Super Game Room Dudes After Dark, where we have conversations like this, lurid conversations.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but you guys have been doing this longer than I have, doing a weekly podcast show. But I mean, do you guys ever get tired of really just talking about arcades, or never ever
I could talk about it all day long.
all day
my
long?
wife is relieved that I have other people to talk to about it, because I was just sitting down and I was like, honey, you gotta check out this Marvel Superheroes. It's got the Punisher. She was like, go make friends.
That's good. I'm still enjoying it personally as well, but I think recently with my Next Level show, I've tried to feature new guests or talk about new things. When I first started, I was like, I have tons of ideas of things I want to talk about, and I'm still excited. And I still feel that way, but then I also now feel pressure to talk about things because I want to keep talking about things and stay current and whatnot. And there's great shows like you guys that are already talking about news and content and other things that I don't feel like I need to replicate too. But so I always wondered about that, how since you guys have been doing it for has it been a year since you guys, when's the Super Game Room Dudes anniversary?
Jeez, Carl, do you know? We've been doing this for
it's at least a year for me and PDubs to start off. Everything's been a blur, so I don't know exactly.
I think it was roughly around the summer we started doing it. So June, July, somewhere around there.
You guys got to do something coming up for your big 1 year or something. That'd be really cool. We should blow it up. But it's been fun getting to hear and see the community, and glad that you guys are still enjoying it and having random talks like this. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love stuff like that. I like talking to people and getting to know them, and I can do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be able to talk about the games, but I love the human interaction. I mean, all you guys, we would not know each other otherwise, without this these platforms and these games. So it's been a pretty cool ride, man.
Kev Great always gives me a hard time. Like, if I'll show up on PDubs show, he said one time, he was like, "Oh my God, Michael B again." But I will never turn down an invite. I'm always honored, no matter who it is. If anybody ever wants me to do anything, it's one of my biggest problems though, because I'll be so busy like trying to actually get my own stuff done, and someone will send me a message. They'll be like, "Hey man, do you want to jump in and do a part in my video?" And I do not have time, but I will not say no. I'm like, sure, no matter who it is, what it is, I will just do it because I can't say no.
Sweet. So now I have a trump card. If I'm running low on content, I can just call up Michael B and we can just chat about nothing. Talk about your hat collection and be like, hey, let's talk about next level baseball stadiums that you've been to. Like, that's part of my content was I just love talking to people that are really passionate and are next level about whatever topic they are too. It doesn't have to be arcades, but people know us for what we do, and I'm excited to even have a voice and an opportunity to talk with the community. And I wanted to address, somebody was saying the Kongs are kind of freaky, not Kongs plural, that
one. So does she, I'll ask a question here now. I can't get my wife to go in my arcade at all. Like, I keep buying things specifically that I think will interest her. I thought Pinball would do it. I thought like Centipede would do it. Miss Pac-Man, and she says it's too loud, like there's too many things happening. She also doesn't have that nostalgia that I have. Your wife actually goes in your like arcade game room and plays a little bit, doesn't she?
Well, she does when I ask, because half the time it's still like in a modding mess where like I do have everything. Someday it'll be complete where you can come in and turn it on and play. But she does have the nostalgia appreciation for it, because she did go to a lot of arcades, and that used to be one of our favorite date places, was going to an arcade and just spending a few quarters. I mean, it was cheap for me to be like, oh, like this is my cheap thing that I'd always do when I was taking out like her or like on a date, to be like, oh, check out my skills on DDR, I can pass these 3 stages on like medium or hard. And like just have some fun with it. But yeah, we used to go to arcades all the time. We loved the Boardwalk arcades. We have this Santa Monica arcade right by our house. Redondo Beach used to have a brilliant arcade that closed down 2 years ago, and but it was before I got into home arcades, and they sold all their stuff, and I really wish I would have bought a sign or something, because that was our favorite arcade, but now it's gone. But yeah, so she has a nostalgic appreciation for it, but she doesn't come in and turn on things because mostly it's a mess. And to your point, how at least with your arcade, you probably could turn it on. It's simplistic because you don't do the mods, right? You can turn it on, you can play it. over half of my machines are the modded version where you have to navigate a menu, and then for the casual person, they're like, "This is too much," and it's like watching Netflix for the first time. You turn it on, you're flipping more than you're playing, and for better or worse, that's how I have a good number of my setups. So I'm thinking of after, like, I loved modding at first because I wanted to have as much as I can with the unique controls, but I've started to appreciate, kind of like we were saying, like, having dedicated cabs for controls, really slimming down what this is meant to do. So for example, my 2 pinballs, I have the Zen pinball, which I modded, the Star Wars one, but I only want to play the Pinball FX3 tables on it. Even though I have a PC and I can run VPX on it, it's a Zen themed cabinet, and I just want to play the 93 tables, and that's more than enough. That's kind of what we wanted these arcade OneUp pinballs to be. If it was truly a Steam-based PC, like, I just want it to be FX3, and with my ALP, then I can do everything else with it. So, like, I'm getting to that point where I want to simplify my arcade, and maybe my Outrun, I'll only put like 10 games on it, and then maybe I can cycle them through, because I'm thinking about that end user. I want them to jump in and not ask me how to play it. I want them to jump in and play it. So I'll get to that point. I just don't know when I feel like I'll be finished with my arcade.
Yeah, so, and I feel the same way with that, because even my modded cabinets, like the Street Fighter and the Galaga, I have the kid mode set up. So the kid mode only has certain games that are specified. So when you switch to the kid mode, you can't change any the settings. You don't see the Raspberry Pi or RetroPie menu. All that stuff is hidden. You can't remove or add things from favorites. You just get that select list, because exactly.
For them.
People come up there, they're scrolling through like, oh, look at that, look at that, and they spend more time scrolling through the list than they would playing the game. So I just have a much smaller list when people come over to play. If it's just me, it'll be wide open. But when people are here, it's on that reduced list.
That's select.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the multi-arcade conundrum. But when you have an arcade, it's nice. I will be waiting, for the day where we can bring back and invite friends. We've never had friends over in our new arcade setup yet, and so we're excited for that. Hopefully, sometime soon. You excited to have friends over? They asked you. Michael B was asking, have you ever come in here and had a desire to like play one of the arcades now that they're here, or are you more resentful that I took over a space you used to own?
Did we tell the couch story? How he sold my couch in the middle of one of my Zoom calls, and I could not get out of the meeting.
Wow.
As I'm watching the couch leave the house.
It happened. So I gave
he
him
needed
a warning.
the space.
An hour before the guy came.
And look at this beautiful arcade that we now have in its place, that we can spend more time in than we did before. We had a couch up here, and it was our den that we used to have a secondary place. We never spent time in there. Our cat spent more time in it, unfortunately, who passed away earlier this year. But now, God rest his soul, we have the space, and we can do whatever we want with it. But now I just like you, Michael, be like, my setup is kind of like the 2-wall setup, and so I don't know what I'm gonna do if really the CES or the E3 predictions and all that good stuff start coming out. Like, I think I'm gonna have a really hard personal time with saying goodbye to more furniture.
As in your bed?
Who needs bed? Who needs beds? Get a blow up mattress.
This man has his own man cave full of toys.
I do. That was one of our early stipulations as a relationship, because I used to have collections where when stuff would show up in the mail, it'd be like, you got another toy? And it'd be like, as long as it stays in the room, it's fine. But now you can't fit everything in here. And I remember the early days when I only had like 3 or 4 arcade OneUp cabs, and I didn't have the other space. And I was thinking of selling my toys or rearranging my man cave room to fit the arcades. But then it just got to, once I hit that 5th cab, it was like, there's no way. Like, you have to find a space. Like, what number cab do you think makes an arcade? Like, is there a set number you think that?
Nope. There's no set number. No set number.
I think it's just key having the games that you enjoy playing.
For you personally. It's such a personal question, right?
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier. For everybody, it's different because it was based on what you played and what was available to you. Once you have the room and once you have the money, then you can splurge into other things. But most people are going to be drawn to what Yeah. Nostalgic value.
So I think there comes a point. I know when I started this, I only had Street Fighter, and I have one arcade one-up in my game room. It was still a game room. It was mainly for playing like mini consoles and like my older stuff I didn't have up in my new family room. So Michael B says 34. You're not wrong.
That's the number.
I hit a point where I bought my 5th arcade one-up cabinet, and I realized they needed their own space. So I moved them out to a separate room, which then I started classifying as the arcade because I just couldn't fit any more in my game room. It became something else. So I don't know. It depends on when you dedicate a space just to arcade cabinets. That's when it becomes an arcade. It doesn't matter how many you are. Yeah. It's what the space is dedicated for.
The dedicated space to house it.
Yeah.
This was supposed
And
to be
back
a
in
den.
who needs a den? Dens are for
den.
for
yeah. I agree with that. Like we have, I guess you would call it like a living room, and like the theory to me is so fascinating. So you have this room, one of the largest rooms in your house that nobody uses. It's just a very clean, presentable room that you don't do anything with. No, you don't have that.
We have a very large living room. If he ever took over the living room, I think I would have to find another Mr. Kongs R Us. Goodness.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a breaking point at some point in time, but I think I did a episode recently, a couple weeks ago about, because there's a corner, there's like having just a couple arcades, there's your unfinished basement that you have Detroit Love, and then there's people that go all out with making it truly replicate kind of a classic arcade feel. So yeah. I'm slowly like adding it. I added like brick wallpaper on one side to give it that nostalgic look. I got these little neon lights that can kind of change colors. So I think the more you can really make that dedicated space look like your own, then it'll ease it in. Yeah.
I love what Jamie Loken said. When your wife says no more, it's an arcade.
That's not accurate.
Well, in 2019, my wife, we did a 80s birthday party for her, with the arcade machines down there, and that was a lot of fun. We had quite a few people over, and everybody enjoyed it. We all dressed up with the 80s, and prior to that, we always did 70s parties, the 70s party, you dress wild, and it's pretty fun. But that was the first time we'd done the 80s, and the arcades were a hit, and it was tons of fun.
Yeah, think about doing a retro arcade party. So we can do a themed retro, like 80s themed retro arcade party. Mm-hmm. Would be so awesome.
Where everyone brought me beer?
Yeah, there will be alcohol, obviously. Yeah, we can do whatever you want. Let me ask you this: have you guys ever been big into escape rooms? Have you guys ever done any of those?
Yep.
Michael,
I had to go into an escape room after I bought Outrun last week.
At one point I was really big into doing escape rooms.
You can't say we, you.
Yes, I was big into escape rooms, and I turned one of our spare rooms for like one of my birthdays. I created my own escape room in the house where I put together like mini clues, and it was a game theme. And I can only imagine if I had an arcade to like do a themed escape, or like if we hosted anything. Like, I just feel like there's so many more options I can do now for people wanting to come over. I just can't wait to like actually show off my arcade to friends and family.
Are you inviting people over right now?
No, I know you would be, but yeah, we just haven't gotten quite there yet. So,
all right, I've got a question for you. This is more of a addiction question. Have you ever bought a cab because you said, that'll be good for when company comes over? It's not necessarily something that I'm 100% interested in, but I think someone who comes to my house would like it, so I want to make my arcade more fun for other people coming over.
I play with almost everything in my arcade.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you played Pac-Man?
I've never played Pac-Man, actually. So. It's in the corner. I bought it. I remember when I bought Pac-Man.
You can't have an arcade without Pac-Man.
It's true.
Yeah, exactly. And it was on sale at Target for $200. And
When was the last time you played our Macross one?
oh yeah, my Macross mod. I do
Oh,
like the
yeah.
modding process more than actually playing it for me personally. Like everybody's a little
Yeah.
bit different in the hobby, right? And so me building has always been that engineering use of my brain to see what I can do with
Oh
stuff.
wait, happy birthday, Sathanos.
Sathius.
Sathius.
Yeah. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Oh, is it
I think Kevgrit. It's Kevgrit's birthday.
Kev's-
Happy birthday,
oh,
Kevgrit.
is it Kevgrit's birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Kevgrit. There we go.
Happy
Any
birthday.
excuse to drink. Somebody was mentioning how fast you killed
Pound
your
the
last
wine?
one. You pound your wine. Good. She's good. She's not even red. She doesn't get Asian glow. She has some kind of weird gene where she does not show anything, and like she will be sleepy later. I'll tell you that much. But other than that, she's like she doesn't get red. She doesn't match her shirt. I will turn into a red apple in just a second.
Kev and Sathius, it's their birthdays.
Wow.
Oh, happy birthday.
May 7th is when it's happening.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy hatch day is like what I like to say. But yeah, I almost bought NBA Jam to play with other people. And I for a long time I was telling her like we're going to Costco and she's making a little like shopping list. We need broccoli, we need meat, and then like I try to like grab it and just write NBA Jam on the list. And like one time I did, and she was reading through the list and saw NBA Jam on it, and so I almost got her to buy it for me because then when my birthday came around, like last year in October, she was like, "Fine, I'll buy you the NBA Jam," because she didn't want to think about buying me a gift. And then at that point in time, I was like, I'm a huge NBA fan, but I didn't play the game enough. I never, for some reason, I don't like sports games. Like from my arcade perspective, like I never got into sports games. My brother did, so I just Blitz and NBA Jam, and maybe I'm traumatized because he'd always want to play me, my older brother, and he'd always kick my ass. Like NBA Live 95 or like NBA Jam, I'd always lose. I'd be terrible at it. So I didn't end up getting it. I ended up getting a drill press instead, which was really awesome. But that was the one where I would have been like, if I would have bought it, it would have only been for company. But
yeah,
the upcoming 4-player cabs,
Yeah.
like I think I would want them for nostalgic purposes too. So there's
The Simpson one?
there's Simpsons and X-Men. Simpsons has been
What do you mean Simpsons? I don't know anything about a Simpsons cab coming out.
speculation says there might be something from a Fox property that's coming out that is blue and yellow themed. A UCLA cab, if you will. Yeah? No?
No.
Would you want... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying with the NBA Jam, I bought that for my grandkids, but the Canadian border's been shut down, so I hadn't been able to get it to them. But I have not turned. I turn it on when I turn all the other ones on, but I haven't played that since the game room dudes.
Yeah.
We all play that.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, someone asked me the other day, they said, should I still pick up NBA Jam? And I said, truth is, there's not as many people on it anymore as there used to be. So it's a little bit harder to find a game now. But what I do find is I'll be talking to somebody in the community and they'll be like, hey, do you want to play some NBA Jam? And we intentionally go on to play against each other. And it's still a laugh. It's just, it's harder to find people naturally to just, if you're going in looking for a game. Interesting.
I play my Marvel vs. Capcom cab still like almost every night, and the Danger Room is popping. So if they continue to release fighting games with Wi-Fi, especially, I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom, again, it's one of the newer fighting genre games, but if they did Street Fighter 2, like the baseline is everybody. Like I think everybody can do a Hadouken, and that live room would be open almost.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the control panel's like. If it has edges on the side,
that's true. But I mean, man, Skynet wants a pachinko machine. Interesting. A gambling machine.
I picked up one from Damon Cook in the community.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Oh,
my wife enjoys it.
Richie Odello says, "Net, once you bring a slot machine in your arcade, it's now official business at Kong's." I have a touchscreen slot machine. Do you guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
So did he sell the refrigerator to get that in the house?
Good lord. That would be downstairs in the living room. But no, he did not. This was actually a really cute thing that he did. He actually did it for my mom, so his mother-in-law. He made a... there we go. a little homemade arcade slot for her, and then we
Oh,
decked it
okay.
out, being so Chinese, like the red and gold for New
Yeah.
Year's. And then it was really fun. Like, they had all these little buttons, but then she's this very simple gal, just like me. I mean, not that type of simple, but simple that she's happy with being able to play all of her games on her Chromebook in Facebook. So she returned it back to us, but it's full touch screen.
Yeah.
This was the work of Bobby. Bobby helped us cut like everything on it. We got a touchscreen monitor on it, and we also put in all these little buttons. So we have about how many slot games on there?
Yeah, so it's running front end SF to each simple touch front end. And
Yep.
so the front end allows you to kind of just load up IGT slots, which is just a PC slots game. And it's cool because then I mapped a USB encoder to keyboard commands that you can just press the button and it'll like do the button lines for you. So I thought it was pretty cool setting it up, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. But then again, like she was saying, it was in her room, but she never played it because she just wanted to play her Facebook slots instead. So I got beat out by the and those
apps,
slots
yeah.
are definitely, because I guess if you're playing for not real money or real stakes, then it kind of loses appeal. It sounds cool, it looks awesome. I got to turn it on and make sure it still works because I had plans to add in more touchscreen games eventually. But you remember there was a time where like touchscreen arcades, I feel like there's waves of things. Like everybody wants to do a touchscreen arcade, and there was I think a period last summer where it was like, all right, I got to get on it. Got my 19-inch touchscreen monitor.
Although we actually have a legit slot machine downstairs, right?
We did. I brought it back to
Oh,
Bobby.
thank
Bobby
God.
gets all the best deals, so I'm so fortunate to know Bobby, and he's like my woodworker. But he has a real slot machine in his house. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's cool.
So BA has 2 slots. Why? Not.
Exactly. I don't know.
So Jamie was asking what arcade games are your favorite? I mean, I'll go first. Donkey Kong is my all-time favorite game. I would love to have a dedicated cabinet. I've seen quite a few people build, 3/4 scale ones that look really nice. I don't have that skill set, so I can't build it myself. But I would love to have a Donkey Kong one, and that's the only one I would want to look the way it did. Otherwise, I don't care that the other ones look the same. But I would love to have a Donkey Kong. But having said that, I don't want to have a full-size Donkey Kong either.
But a full-size Donkey Kong's not that much bigger than Arcade OneUp. I mean, it's a smaller cabinet.
It would have to be pristine with no mouse P, and what I mean, it would have to have been in a perfect environment all these years.
Yeah, see,
consider
that's where you're making your mistake. If it doesn't have enough mouse P, it's not really an arcade cabinet.
right. See, that's why I don't need it. So, what's your favorite arcade game, Michael B?
Oh, it changes. It's one of those things that's a moving target, especially lately since I get more familiar with arcade culture. I would say growing up, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Loved it. WrestleFest was a close second, and then also G.I. Joe, the arcade game. I love G.I. Joe. But ever since I started doing the arcade one-up stuff and getting more into classic arcade games, Star Wars. Star Wars became my all-time favorite. The first Star Wars, I can play that nonstop. I've done it sometimes 6-7 hours in a row.
Wow, you don't get tired of the vector graphics and the repetition? Like,
No,
are you just going for high score, like beating your own high score? Or?
It's all about that. Well, not my own high score. I'm proud that way. But I had a friend on Twitter that we used to go back and forth and compete scores against. Yeah,
you need somebody that's pushing you because I played, for example, my Zen tables, my pinball tables, and I would play them so casually like you, just double flipper and just see how long I could last. And it wasn't until I joined UAG's tournament that I started really paying attention to beating somebody. So that definitely makes sense. Like having any type of competition, that becomes my favorite. That's why Marvel vs. Capcom is my favorite cab. I've logged over almost close to 3,000 matches on that cabinet.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah, I have about 1,500 and 1,500 win-loss record. I'm actually ranked too. There's a ranking. I hit top 39, so I'm pretty proud that I'm actually up there in the rankings. It goes up and down quickly. It doesn't really matter your ranking, but was pretty cool.
Should I be
So you're one of-
concerned that you had 3,000 matches against strangers, and I don't know if you had 3,000 matches against your wife?
We might have. You never know. I don't think I've kept counts. This conversation
And welcome to Super Game Room Dudes After Dark.
dark.
And let's just remember that your 99-cent gift has way more matches.
This is probably true. I remember. I think Kev Gert was saying I was gonna get replaced by a $1.98 toy pretty soon too, if she ever decides to upgrade.
It's
But
Upgrade.
looking like it.
that's how I'm gonna get replaced. Who knew?
Yeah, when you're playing against someone, it makes so much of a difference. Like we would go back and forth, and like there'd be times where I beat his score, but I only beat his score by probably 200 points.
Yeah.
And I would keep playing, and then I would get a massively higher score, and then he'd write me all proud because he beat me again. And then we'd go back and forth with like Star Wars things. Like everybody knows the meme, like I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it from the Star Wars Force Awakens. So I would just send him that, and he'd be like, "What do you mean?" And then I'd send another picture, and I'd be up by like another 500,000 points, and he's like, "How?"
That's funny. Somebody's name is batteries not included.
That is good.
But yeah, that's why I like RA Arcade and the Dragon's Lair games too. I have like a little mini rivalry with Prentice. It's not much of a rivalry. He kicks my butt all the time, but I love it. Like, so to have that personal connection with somebody too.
Yeah.
When you have two people playing the same game, that's really awesome.
And this is PDubs show, and I'm talking way too much. I'm so about D-Love show, and I'm talking way too much. But that was what was so cool about the original arcades. Like you go back to that arcade mentality back in the 80s and early 90s. That's what it was. People went in there, and
I gotta challenge Detroit Love to something. But what are you most? I think I asked this question about like what would the Super Game Room dudes most excel at? Like, is pinball your top game, Detroit Love? Is that what would you say you most excel at?
Now, I'm similar to you, where I've been really enjoying the tournaments with your average gamer, because it brings a totally different element. I'm not a fan of online play where I'm playing against people, like the Call of Duty and things like that, because I don't have the time and resources to be online like those people. So if I go out there like Call of Duty, I'm gonna die every 2 seconds, right? Because these people know the maps, they know where all the good weapons are. I'm just running around with the pea shooter. But I do like where you're challenging for the score.
Yeah.
And so I do like that. But I'm not a real big online gamer, just for the reason, because people used to cheat. They used to unplug the cables and all this stuff. So I'm tainted from that standpoint. So the rage quitting, it was just it wasn't a fun experience.
So I've never been very good at Marvel versus Capcom or X-Men versus Street Fighter, but I really enjoy it. But I go in there now, and I'll get in there, and I'll start having like really good fight with somebody, and then all of a sudden they'll let me do pretty good for like most of the first round, and then all of a sudden they'll start juggling me with Ryu, and like it's just like
uppercut punch,
the uppercut, and you're just floating, and there's like nothing you can do, and I'm like, I'm out of here. Like it's just that's the point where you're like,
yeah, X-Men versus Street Fighter is more broken with people who know Infinite that can take advantage of it. Marvel versus Capcom is a little bit more balanced, but like I can't wait for Street Fighter 2 Live, like when they get there, because that's such everybody is at a basic level playing field. I would think so. There's really good players, but still I think it's going to be a more even playing field. Would you play online with any of those? Like if there was an arcade OneUp game that came up with an online cab, is there something that you can think of that you would want to play with other people?
I'm a sore loser, so I would just turn off my game and like, oh, done. Skip my line.
Yeah.
That's the rage quitting. But to answer your question, there, Kong, I'm more in the 80s, the games where it wasn't online, and I don't really. I go on and I play for a little bit. I'm not trying to get the highest score ever. Typically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll jump on. I'll play some Golden Tee. I may play a whole round. I may play just a couple of holes.
Casual arcade fan. Yeah.
Yeah. But the pinball, I'll play that the most, the longest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I enjoy it. And I think it's because I didn't play pinball a lot growing up. You know, and I have such great tables on this modded toy shock that you know, it's just a lot of tables to play. So pinball would be the best. But if I walked up into this room, typically I'm gonna turn on Golden Tee, play that. I'm gonna turn on my vertical. The vertical games is where I like. My Street Fighter, I seldom ever play that unless someone's over.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why you guys talk about the fighting games. Unless I get to talk smack with somebody sitting next to me, you know, it's not a whole lot of fun. You know, the people online I can't talk smack with.
That's the best thing about the online fighters, because honestly, let's call a spade here. The arcade one-up cabinets are a little small, and I find it pretty hard to play two-player fighting cabinets. I'm a bigger dude, and most of my friends are bigger dudes too. So, like, you know, we really struggled to have an enjoyable two-player match together. But if you're playing online against somebody, you can still get that experience without being squat into your cab. You can relax a little bit more.
It's like those old school LAN parties where you just bring your computers together.
Yeah.
And like, I got my own computer. I'm gonna play you some StarCraft. Like, that used to be my jam. PC games.
I'll tell you, when I used to work in automotive, we had these big CAD machines. They were Unix boxes, $20,000-$30,000 for these to design cars. But we had Doom on it. We had Battlezone on there, and we used to have
Awesome.
LAN parties at work. You know, we get in there early and get to chasing each other around playing Doom. It was nothing funner than that, man.
That's pretty rad.
Those are some
Oh
fun
my
old
gosh,
days.
yeah, LAN parties.
Now you're talking. Look at these guys, kind of bringing it back, bringing all the retro things. And is that retro? Is LAN parties retro? Is that considered, or is that a little bit?
I don't know.
Not
People gatekeep the word retro so many times
Mhm.
because they're like, if the official rules are it has to be this many years, and someone will say it has to be this many generations behind. Man, retro is just if it gives you nostalgia, it's retro. That's where we're due. That's where it should be.
I like it. Definitely like that definition of it. Cool. LANs have to be retro.
Oh yeah, by now.
If they're not used anymore, right? Like if it's not used currently, I think that could be another definition, right? How often are people doing that sort of thing?
I do have to answer Hollywood Polo's question. What was my favorite arcade games? I feel like it has to be within like the Pizza Huts of our times, inside of that smelly arcade room. So yeah, The Simpsons, the X-Men. I think I like playing like the multiplayer games more.
Yeah.
Like the more co-op games. Those are fun.
I'm so excited for X-Men. I can't tell you. That's the arcade one-up cabinet. I'm breaking my what do you call them? Pilgrimage or Lent for. I'm going to be getting X-Men. That's 100% slam dunk. I love beat 'em ups, and like people are like, there's no replayability. I can play beat 'em ups every single day. I could go down to my arcade and play Turtles every single day, just by myself, no one else.
It's Wi-Fi connected, right? Like that's the really cool thing. That's one of I love cabs that will have that feature moving forward because it'll dissuade me from modding it. Because I mean, you could play X-Men right now, my modded TMNT, but if I want to join and actually join a party, you can.
Yeah.
That's really cool, and you can like try new characters.
4 people.
I love playing with you guys, but I want to play with strangers I don't know and beat the game. Come on.
I love this. Son, I don't want to bond with you today. I want to bond with this rando that I haven't met yet.
The X-Men cab does look super sweet, though. We were big X-Men fans growing up, right? And I'm trying to get my son into it, like just knowing the characters a little bit more because he sees them with Marvel vs. Capcom. But
my daughter, what I did was Disney Plus, and
the X-Men series is on there.
Yeah, so I have to put we're out of it now. My daughter's going to sleep by herself now, finally. But I would have to actually put her to bed every night, and I would sit in there. So we would just watch cartoons, and I'm a big kid, so I put on the cartoons from my youth. So like my daughter's favorite cartoons are like the real Ghostbusters, 90s X-Men, 90s Spider-Man from Fox. But just recently, we started collecting the toys. Like, so they did that really fancy new X-Men with the 90s box and all that toys. Yeah. I think it's Redco, the brand is called. So I picked her up. Her favorite X-Men is Storm. So I picked her up Storm. Now I can't find Wolverine, so I had to buy a Wolverine figure from a different set. But she won't know the difference. But I managed to get Gambit and Rogue and Beast. So we started collecting those toys together now. So that's a big thing with us.
That's awesome. My daughter actually really likes playing Marvel vs. Capcom with me because she likes the characters. Her favorite
Yeah.
character is Morgan.
Yeah.
Don't know why. She calls her Batgirl. And so, and then she will play and she will button mash with the computer like by herself and just like have fun at it. And so she actually is. Maybe I'll get her into gaming, but that's our little game that we play together. So it's cool to see her getting into it.
Capcom fighting games are pretty. If you're familiar with Street Fighter, you can play like pretty much every single Capcom fighting game instinctively.
Instinctively, yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. 90s X-Men is amazing. I agree.
I actually have like the bootleg version of X-Men. Like, in college we bought like
the Chinatown bootlegs. You guys ever have those?
yeah. My wife, when I was first seeing her, she bought me this tin case, and it's I don't know what it is, but it's I guess that version of Transformers, every single episode of Transformers. So when I first got it, I was really excited because I always wanted like the whole series of Transformers on DVD. I started playing it, and I was like, this is in Chinese. I can't understand anything. And then you have to navigate through the menu because you can switch to English audio, but it wasn't easy.
I don't know what B Kong is doing, but he is hunting between the Pac-Man. This is why you need space. You gotta move that arcade. You like?
Well, if you give him the living room, he'll have more space. So.
Well, I didn't get those because they were too expensive.
You got the Chinatown bootleg.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like before the X-Men's were on Disney Plus, we definitely bought like the bootleg versions. We tried to have the kids watch it. They weren't as interested. I think they didn't really have any association with it. Playing Marvel vs. Capcom, they started recognizing the characters and like, oh, yeah, watch this. It's like, we have comic books in the other room, bud.
That Filmation Ghostbusters is the best. Sean, you're the best, man, but that Filmation Ghostbusters is nothing compared to real Ghostbusters. Do you remember that show, D-Love?
Which one, the original Ghostbuster?
Yeah, Filmation Ghostbusters, the one where they had the monkey and they were like detectives.
I don't think I've seen the Filmation one.
I haven't seen that.
It's no good. That's why it's got to be real Ghostbusters, because they've retained the name. What's this? Yeah, there it is.
The bootleg one.
Yeah.
Complete series on 8 discs that aren't even labeled.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, when my dad passed, when I cleaned up his place, he had so many bootleg DVDs. It was just crazy. I don't think there was a movie that he didn't have.
Yeah. I'll never forget the first time I ever went to New York City, and people just come up on the street. They're like, yo, man, you ever see 6 Sense? You want this DVD? I'm like, whoa, that's a lot, man.
Wait, that's real? We've never been to New York, so.
Oh, yeah. It was in New York in like 99, right? I don't think it's that way now. Like, people come up to real DVDs. They're like, I'm trying to get these out of my house. Like, I can't sell them anywhere.
I funny, like, my parents grew up owning a mom and pop video store. So in the late 80s to like pretty much to the early 2000s, we had a mom and pop store called SNK Video number 2. And we owned, the $1 VHS tapes for old releases and $2 new releases. So I grew up in, that's how I had my brick and mortar shop, and we had 4 arcades that would rotate, and we'd have like people coming play out. So that's how I grew up in a video store donut shop business.
Wow, that's cool. That was like my dream job when I was a kid, like to work at a movie store. Oh yeah, because I'm 40, right? I grew up in the 80s, 80s. So like going into the video stores when I was like 8, 9, and like seeing the horror sections, and like the guys were there just with the TV on watching Hellraiser at 2:00 in the afternoon. You're like, oh, the best.
I hated working there, but I have nostalgia for it now. The coolest part was like I didn't appreciate it then, and I wish I would have kept them. But we used to get the promotional standees for certain marquee movies, and some of them were so cool. We got to build them and put them up, and then we just tossed them out afterwards. And I'm like, they'd probably be worth so much now for certain marquee movies and things. So
I've only ever had one. Someone gave me a Fight Club standee that I used to have in my bedroom when I was like 19, 20. So it was just like that, the movie poster with the
Tyler Durden.
soap. Yeah, yeah.
Did you sell it to somebody, your wife?
No, I think what happened was after I moved out of my parents' house, when I moved out with my wife, when we were younger, my parents just took all my stuff and threw it in the basement, and it's an unfinished basement, like unfinished, like hobbit hole basement. So there's like rocks and maybe running water. There might be a whole community of lemmings living down there. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, it got moldy because it's not a heat controlled basement. Just threw out.
When are you gonna finish your basement, Detroit Love? Do you have what needs to happen so we can get it done?
You guys talk about all these games you have. I'm just envious of people that have walls. I just want a wall.
Oh, goodness.
But
Man.
my wife keeps talking about she wants to sell the house, and so I keep telling her I'm not going to finish the basement for someone else to enjoy. If she would commit to staying, then I would do it. But I'm perfectly fine down here, so I don't have any issue. She doesn't come down here too often, so it's my whole space. This basement is just as big as the first floor, so I don't have a lack of space.
Well, you guys have basements. That's cool. But I don't know what that is in Los Angeles. We don't have basements out here, so.
Sorry, we have a earthquake, so
Right.
Duck and cover. Is your arcade on the first floor, Michael B, or upstairs, or?
It's in a room in the basement, and
basement too. Okay.
our basement used to be we had an income property when we first moved into our house. So our basement is a finished apartment that I'm envious of people like Detroit Love, because I think about like having that whole space with no walls, all open. Do you know how many arcade machines I could fit in there if it wasn't sectioned off in rooms?
Two of every kind.
Yeah. I'm a little envious of the giant unfinished open basement where you can just turn it into a real arcade. Yeah.
You should have seen Mrs. Kong's face when I told her I won the latest Captain's auction and I brought home a Star Wars arcade pod racer. It was great. I've been waiting to do some content video when I just took a selfie video and was like, hey, guess what I did tonight?
Wow.
what have you done with the OneUp arcade? Like the
They're sitting in the. So I have half of our garage with like two giant full-sized arcades. I have a giant virtual on dual seater cab, and then the Star Wars pod racer because it was only $400. I couldn't not bid on it. It was so cheap.
Where we live, we have a two-car garage. 2 cars used to reside in this garage.
It's a 1-car garage now. So what can you say? We have street parking for a reason. You use your garage to store stuff, right? We have hobbies. What can you do?
And then you fill up your upstairs with arcades. So in the event that this earthquake happens,
we'll have entertainment when we get locked down. That's pretty much what it is.
Bobby Broadway, I'm not going to give him a break for that pod racer. It takes up space.
Detroit Love has an underground lair. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, you should totally decorate it like an underground secret lair, like Bat Cave. That would be a cool theme for a basement that looks more unfinished.
See, I would do stuff just for funny jokes, like where you do your show down there from time to time. I would just put random stuff up and see if anybody noticed, like a sex swing. Just leave it up there in the background and just see if anybody noticed.
Giant pole.
I would like that.
You want a pole?
Yeah.
She actually did say she wanted to take classes at some point. It'd be fun, right? It's good exercise.
Good exercise.
All right, I might have to. she's like half serious right now.
In this space right here.
All right, who would put a pole
I think she's
middle
trying
of the
to
arcade?
Yeah, I think she's trying to get you to clear out some space there.
Yeah, I'm pretty bendy, so.
I did see somewhere that they did try to sell those classes, what was it, the pole dancing and stuff like that, as exercise classes there a couple years ago. Did you really?
Yeah. Pretty bendy. Hello.
My wife did the belly dancing exercise.
Oh, yeah? How was that?
She enjoyed that.
think I would.
Belay dancing?
Huh?
Yeah. All right. Maybe we will have some future content with a.
We were looking to expand.
That's
Well,
right.
Ring,
That's
ring. Hello. Yes. I'd like to take some classes.
so.
I don't know if you remember the show Get Smart.
Oh yeah.
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 He had the phone on the
His
shoe.
foot. Fun-
Oh, well, no. This is actual foot here.
I
so,
see
no.
it, but it's not an actual phone though.
She has all sorts of like random hidden talents. I did a survey recently just for folks. I created Kongzera stickers and said, hey, if anybody wants a sticker, fill out a survey of like what you want to see. And some people are like, oh, we want to see a spin-off channel called Mrs. Kongzera. And earlier today, if you guys didn't know, Retro Ralph was going live, and on his new channel was trying to get up to 1,000 subs. And so I was helping him out by subbing with all my other fake accounts, and I created an official Mrs. Kongzera YouTube channel. So now it exists, and maybe we will link it
What
and
would you
have
like to see?
some random stuff with featuring Mrs. Kongzera. So who knows? But it exists now. So a poll in
Whoa.
your arcade.
Whoa, so you're saying you can just create fake accounts and add
No.
subscribers to your own?
Not at all, but you can.
Looks like I'm going to be hitting 50,000 later tonight.
Michael B1, Michael B2, Michael B3, Michael B4. This goes on and on and on. But that was fun. Do you want to show them a hidden talent that you have?
What hidden talent?
What's that?
Which one?
You can do fist or butt hop. What do you guys want to see? Fist or butt hop?
I don't know what any of these things are. What?
Well, that's the fun of it. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to provide some last entertainment for you guys before we sign off.
So guys, if you want to see Bud Hop, put a 0 in the chat. If you want to see a fist something, put a 1 in the chat.
Where are we heading down?
Wherever you want.
All right. I think they're saying butt hop. All right. Somebody's saying both. All right. You got it? All right. We're going to point the camera. I'm sorry for like hijacking your stream and
Oh man, no, everybody's enjoying.
All right. The one, the only Mrs. Kongzera's world famous. Now it will be YouTube famous.
Wait, hold on before you go. Hold on. Let's get the switch this.
Wait. We're gonna make you big. All right.
There you go.
You're ready. Set. Go. Now tell me, have you? She's like going up the wall. Have you ever seen anybody do? Come on, that woman's talented, right?
That's crazy.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
I have
she's
never seen this.
She's still
going back.
Keep going.
Wow.
I don't know when she discovered she discovered she can do this like about 10 years ago when she was drunk, and then I took a video of it, and like it's become a thing where like every once in a while she'll just like.
Can I ask a question? How do you get from point A to point B there? You're drunk. You're like, can I do this? Can I just do it?
You'd be surprised what you can do.
Yeah, WKRP is a solid butt hop.
WKRP is good people.
Am I
I get.
the fist nuts?
I'm sorry to bring this back to the arcade space again, but I noticed you have the Neo Geo there. Do you ever use it, B?
No. No.
It looks beautiful. What are you talking about? It's more eye candy than it is play candy.
Yeah.
Like I do have it on the Bobby View riser.
Yeah.
And so I do have it with she's like kicking it. And then I have the Hilo hack on it. So it's great to have, but I also have those games on other things too. So
I know, right?
I'm not going there to play it. It just looks beautiful. And it's actually like the shallow depth of it, it's not as sturdy when you're actually really playing it. Like it moves around a lot when you're playing it. I played a 2-player fighting game against Kyo Daikin, and like it was just all over the place. I didn't know if it was like just the way it's built, and it's just not 2-player sturdy for real play. She's just kicking stuff and what else? So she's having more fun with the arcade than I am right now. You want to turn it on and play it?
Someone just butt hopped and Michael B goes back to arcades.
We know what Michael B has on his mind. That's so good.
All right,
That's
guys,
all
man. We're going on 3.5 hours here.
If you don't hit 5, you're not trying.
I know. Man, I appreciate you guys hanging with me on this Friday Night Live, man. This was a lot of fun. We have to do this again. We have to do it again.
Yeah, anytime. So as long as we can hold the kids up for, I think they're in their rooms taking care of themselves the last
2 hours.
for hour and a half. So
And if you ever want me to come on the next level, I'm available as well. B.
Yeah,
So
we got to
let me
talk
know.
about some of your mods and things too. One of the originators. I remember watching you, Detroit Love, with your one of the first what was it, the surge protector mod where you flipped everything on and like showed how people how to use that with the little switch on the Pi. So I thought that was
Yeah, because back then you had to keep adding all these plugs in,
Yep.
but then you had to turn everything off separately. I'm like, I like mine to be
simple, one flip.
simple and like you were saying, like the original cabinets, even though it can do more stuff, like to make it work like the original if you can.
And then I went one step further and started electrocuting myself, and then I started doing inlet module switches and all sorts of things. So, but you were one of the guys I originally started watching. So pleasure.
All right, man. Well, have me come
connect.
on. All right, man. All right, guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
All right.
everyone.
Good night.
Appreciate you.
See ya. Bye.
Night.